Good evening. Right, I have mucked around with tech so much I've forgotten what we're doing. But playing D&D. Back on the normal Thursday. I think also, because I was slightly inebriated last Friday, I think that caused my memory to fail. So I'm going to say what I thought happened, and you guys fill in some gaps, and we'll see if you try and sneak any lies in, looking at Faywin. The brat. Can't believe it. So, still in Allhearth. Enjoying the sights of Allhearth. The Bakery Fight Club was a right royal success, up until the point the bear tries to fight the pirate, and we had what felt like the never-ending fight of you guys missing each other, which was good, with Otter winning out in the end, after nearly having to have some extras thrown in to keep the fights going. But you cleared out from the pub, made your way, or most of you made your way back. Faywin flirted her way into the druid's house, claiming to be, what was the word you used? Von Van's special friend?
I don't know where the specials come from.
No, you definitely flattered your eyelids.
I'm a good friend.
You said very good friend.
You said very good friend. You said, I want to persuade him, and then you flattered your eyelids. You made it sound very flirtatious with the guard.
It absolutely was not.
Otherwise, it's a really weird thing to say. If you're just like, I promise. Lucky you're a school child. Either way, it worked. So you waited for your special friend to get home, as Otter, Von, and Zaga made their way back, planning early mornings. Arthur stayed a little bit longer with his rough man accent, getting down with the lads, spending lots.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Spending a little bit too much gold. This turtleneck's really going to his head. Ended up finding his way back to the sundial to sleep the night through, waking up early in the morning. Before making his way back to the rest of the party. And with the early morning, Zaga head out to do some shopping and to find to raise some cash for some goods that have been shown to him by a certain merchant whilst he was waiting to find the Dragonborn. So he went off to some alchemist dude, the alchemist blacksmith, to sell off some magical items, which may have been used for other people, who even knows, but they're now been sold off, so you may raise some cash that way. Then head off to try and see if you can get into the Dragonborn, to meet the Dragonborns in the Commonwealth building itself, to no avail, whichever one it was, before making your way to the merchant to see if you could haggle a little deal for the loot or maybe the mask, find out what the deal was with them. And after backwards and forwards with the merchant trying to find out, bargaining in certain ways, you offered your songs, the songs of a kobold bard, and seeing that as an opportunity, the merchant asked you to try their mask on, just to give it a go, to see if we could sell this bronze-masked kobold bard. And as you tried it on, it fused to your face as you spent 10 minutes running around in pain, only to come out the other side with Jenny the hag revealing herself to be the merchant, disappearing, turning the shop back to its original decrepit state, and you feeling just a little bit taller, a little bit stronger, with a
uglier.
We're not saying uglier, just saying he got one of those mewing toy things. He's got some cheekbones now. The lad's got a jawline, and a sassy ass, slightly longer tail. So still a small creature, but slightly bigger, slightly bronzer, a little shinier in the scale. As you made your way back to the rest of the party to catch up at the sundial, which I believe is where Arta ended up as well. And Von and Otter head out to the druids. You went to find Bo from Redvant. Bo, who helped you in the south of Redvant when the elves were leaving to shut up shop when they had first heard that Death Bloom was kicking around and was causing some problems, killing some of their elven guard, and they shut up shop and flew home. Bo decided, as part of his druid responsibilities, to take some of the diamond mushrooms and head to Allhearth to start building a case and to spread kind of news as what had been happening. Von and Otto, you helped with aiding with Undriel's file to give Bo the ammunition he needs to fill out the case. You could see that from the map that he had up, that he's still working on the information that you had 3 or 4 weeks ago, so it was vastly out of date in terms of the spread of the death bloom and the things that you had seen, the stuff that Undriel had seen. You also found out that Undriel was in fact missing, and maybe hadn't been sent by the Druids as she had said, but they had been wondering or looking for where she was, and that she had seemingly head out on her own accord. From what you had seen, she was collecting information on the death bloom, but it was not at the request of the Druids. So you hide that information off. Bo had told you that it will take him a day or so to pull the information into a case, and if you wanted to be present to help, that you could help present the case to the Druids. You also, after Faywin arrived at the gates of Allhearth with Mira and the Thornwind Sentinels, have the similar offer to speak with the Council of the Commonwealth to see what they do about essentially the refugee situation, all these borderland folk that are now living on the outskirts of Allhearth. And also, obviously there are powerful people within the Commonwealth in case you wanted to jockey them for anything. And Feynman finally went to see her parents after days in Allhearth.
One day.
Went to have breakfast with them and then emotionally manipulated them, rolling a 20 on a persuasion check to get some mobile phone. I think was the end point. But yes, having a brief conversation with your mother, but not going into too much detail. She shying away from detail on certain things, and spending the better part of the day with your father in the Allhearth Commonwealth Library, doing some of the research around the death bloom and trying to pull out as much information as possible. Your dad had told you that the information, a lot of the books that you'd pulled were the information that he'd already passed over to Bo as well, as part of the original note that you'd sent. And I think we ended with you all culminating, Faywin picking up Zagar on the outskirts of the Commonwealth building themselves, Arta hanging out with these bakery or baked goods after trying to find some information out on the missing scrolls. You all convened in the early evening outside the sundial. And I think that's everything.
You missed out the part where Faywin wouldn't help Zaga get into the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
While she was inside.
Yeah, that was a given.
And he was outside arguing with God.
Yeah. I believe the words were, I rush out quickly.
Yes, because Zaga doesn't understand rules.
Rules. Yes. So.
I think we should make Zaga persuade me to let him in.
Oh, yeah?
Meet my father.
I mean, that's up to you.
I mean, that's probably going to work, right?
Yeah. It's way easier for you just to blindly say no.
I mean, it's bad, so...
Yeah. If you want to get what you want. So yes, you all have different, picking up different bits of information to share with each other. We can say that you spend this time sharing it if you want to go and get some beveraginos, or you have the evening to go and wander and explore a little more. But you are all together after a day of separate duties. Again, in Allhearth, if we'd like, and there's nothing particularly you want to do, you can head back, sleep, and then again decide what you want to do the next day. We can run it fairly quick in terms of we'd have to go hour by hour.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Zaga?
This bloody Faywin wouldn't help me get into the Commonwealth. I saw her inside, and she refused, and then rushed out before she could get me in.
Wait, aren't we in the Commonwealth?
No,
Yeah.
we're in the city.
You're in the,
No,
yeah.
this is what I was saying. This is in character. Is the city not called the Commonwealth? I thought Allhearth was just like the name of the lake. There's a lake.
You see that big gated thing over there? Yeah, that's the Commonwealth.
I mean, at least we don't look suspicious just standing outside it.
I've been standing outside it for like 2 days.
Zaga, what the hell happened to you?
What do you mean?
He's ugly, isn't he?
You changed.
What do you mean ugly?
He looks exactly the same.
He
He's
absolutely
a bit.
not.
He's bigger though. It's a bit bigger.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was... No. But, has anyone got a lead on these stolen scrolls yet?
We need to find the half-elf with the...
Valerie?
Valerie, yeah, maybe. They seem to know something about it, but I'm not...
Oh, what, your tour guide?
Yeah, they mentioned it. They brought it up. I don't even think I brought it up, but they brought it up.
scrolls.
Yeah, they mentioned that someone had been nabbing them.
That was before we even went to the wizard place.
Well, that's why I was
That's
confused.
Strange.
Yeah, because I met you guys there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we do
Maybe
need
I'm
to
just
find
really
this gallery.
charming and people want to tell me things. Thoughts?
Seems legit.
See?
How is that turtleneck still clean? That's my thought.
It's a different turtleneck. I've changed. Can you not? I was going to say colorblind, but one's white and one's black, and I'm wearing the white one today. I was wearing the black one yesterday, or vice versa. I'm
You
not quite
were?
sure. And I looked down to try and remember, to try and see
Double
which
check.
one I put on this morning. Yeah, there's two. Ooh, that reminds me. No, it's not. Don't worry, it's fine. The real surprise can wait.
Mm-hmm.
Faywin, did you manage to see your father?
I did. We spent a long day catching up and going through details in the library. I'm planning on heading over there tomorrow morning early for breakfast, and I'll mention what you'd asked for.
You said you were going to get me in tomorrow.
I do need to see your father, and I'd rather do that with yourself
meet the
rather than
family.
not.
I mean, I don't need to meet them, but I want to meet them now because everyone else wants to.
I heard something about a free breakfast.
Ooh,
They do a spectacular
good.
breakfast, but
your
I would rather
parents?
meet. Yes, I grew up in a wonderful
Oh,
home.
fancy breakfast with Faywin's parents?
Ooh.
Oh, thanks for the invite, Faywin.
Do they have any of that blood sausage that I've heard so much about?
Oh, every morning there's a black pudding.
God.
What about duck?
Yeah, what about Duck?
I'm sure if the party were nicer to me, then I could have requested for duck to be bought. My mother is an incredible cook. It's some would say in my story she's
Why aren't-
actually a proficient chef. But
Why aren't you a wonderful cook then? Did you learn anything from your parents?
Faywin
Like
is
modesty?
visibly angry.
And,
Hey, don't upset her. She's invited us for breakfast.
Oh no, she has. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm sure all will be made well by tomorrow. We definitely won't annoy you anymore today.
If you do, you're not coming.
You can't.
And you
leave,
most certainly aren't going into the Commonwealth. And I shoot a look at Zaga.
What did I do? But these scrolls, now that we got breakfast sorted, does anyone want to go find out anything about them, or?
So yeah, we need to find this Valerie guy, right? If only we had some sort of way to look exactly where he was.
Imagine if we had something like that.
That would be
great.
really useful right now, wouldn't it?
I feel like if I get some sleep, I could probably, refresh my magical abilities.
I wonder if
mean,
you'll shrink overnight.
What do you mean shrink? That hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we could try and find something out the more traditional sort of way tonight, and then use your magical abilities tomorrow if we need to.
Are we doing a stakeout in Woolworth?
We can't do a stakeout if we don't know what we're looking for.
Now we're just
Yeah,
gonna go and try and pick up, any kind of clothes.
We're gonna get steak?
Oh, is there steak at breakfast?
Steak and eggs.
Oh, goodness.
And blood sausage.
And gammon.
And duck.
And do they do like a 3-bird roast?
For breakfast, Arthur,
I've
have
heard
you
of
ever had a
inns.
breakfast before?
Well, you're pretty fancy and rich, rich people eat lots.
Yeah, I dread to think what your latrine's like after all that meat of the morning, but is that why you left?
Faywin starts to walk away at this point.
As she does that, I turn.
We
to
better follow her. She knows the city.
I turn to the. I know the rest. I know the city, and then I turn to the rest of the group and say, "So, with the whole Zaga thing, are you guys trying to gaslight me like you were with Vonvat?
Guess what?
They look exactly the same."
Who looks exactly the same? Zaga looks exactly the same.
Zaga looks like
you
Redvant.
both look like you've always done.
You guys are
Anyway.
drinking.
Oh yeah, I'm still hungover.
Follow Faywin. She might know where these scrolls are.
I mean, don't think Fabian will, but let's catch up with her.
I don't know where I'm walking. I've just
Just started
in
walking.
dramatic fashion. Yeah.
Where would you like to walk?
Away, Redvant maybe.
It's a long walk, but you could if you just start now.
Well,
You haven't got your pony yet.
yeah, true. I'll wait till I get my pony.
100% not getting a pony.
100% will roll for it every week until I get one.
DC's 50.
It works like that.
Does anyone remember which district some of us have been told?
Scholar's Crown, I believe.
Scholars
That's where the
Crown.
the wizard place is, and I think that's where was mentioned.
I believe the east side of the city was where I was told that there was shenanigans.
If you're nice to Fabian, maybe she'll take you there.
The east side of the city.
No, definitely.
Fun Van, you know all this.
Scholar's Crown's
Scholars
the
Crown's
west
in the
side.
west.
No, I know. I'm
West
talking about where to
side.
find them.
Yeah, so all you were told is there was a young student that had been stealing them and has taken 2 rather powerful spell scrolls.
Oh wait, we were told who did it.
Yeah.
Guys, I feel like
Ratio.
you missed this information off when you were explaining what we were looking for.
Arthur, you was in the room when they told us.
That's just semantics.
Only we had a way of viewing them from afar.
If only.
You know when you guys are like, hey, it's been a while since we leveled up. I'll remind you to conversations like this. Which it could only be described as a Chuckle Brothers conversation.
Shall we head to the Scholar's Crown and have a look around there and see if we can see anything?
Oh, I think
Yeah, let's go.
I think carry on
Arthur,
with
do you
this.
remember what your friend looked like?
No. Half elf. I remember half elf,
Right.
and I remember
So,
he showed me the sundial.
so a half elf in Allhearth.
Mhm.
And I'm not
Okay.
sure their name is Valerie, if I'm truly honest. It just sounded weird to my little tiefling ears. Well, they're quite big tiefling ears, but you get the point.
What
Okay.
could possibly
I'm
go
sure we'll be able
wrong?
to pick them out in a crowd. It'll be easy.
Well, we've got nothing better to do with our time, alright? So let's just head off to Scholar's Crown.
What time is it by this point?
What felt in real world time took about 3 or 4 minutes, but in my time feels like 4 hours. So it's now midnight. No, about 7 p.m.
Have we actually told Faywin about these scrolls and
Nope.
the reward yet?
Nope.
Nope.
So it depends on how you guys want to share information, because obviously, if it's and also how much you were individually paying attention as players.
I thought it was entirely hiding all the rewards from Faywin when we was in Allhearth.
No, only hiding rewards that she's not part of earning.
Like the rewards we didn't get from saving Skeg.
Yeah, like that.
Skeg.
So Zaga will fill Faywin in while we walk towards the district.
Skull's Crown.
Could someone else fill me in because I don't trust Sagas?
Uh,
Actually,
I
no,
will
Zaga-
back up. I will back up what Zaga said.
I
Zaga
was
doesn't
getting-
remember the name of the thief though. So.
Uh-huh.
And I will back up all
Horatio
my
is
answers.
the name.
A ratio.
I was going to say I was getting the sheet up to do an insight check on Zaga because I'm not being shortchanged again. I'm getting
What-
pulled.
I mean, it wasn't a lot of money.
It was still money.
They said 1,500 gold per scroll.
Yeah, this one was. Yeah, this was where it's like, hey, do you want to go after the hidden spell scrolls or the missing spell scrolls? 3,000 gold if you get both of them, or do you want to help a kid who's potentially stuck in a bakery? You like? I don't know.
That's a deal.
I don't know.
We
That
got the fight club.
unknown
You
thing.
angled baked goods in front of us. That's what you done.
3,000 gold, which is the thing that you say don't have enough of, or undetermined amount of money to save a child from a bakery. We're going for the bakery every day, baby.
I mean,
That's what happens when Faywin's in a meeting.
I know. Oh, I learned my lesson
I
there.
feel like it was the right choice.
It was the right choice because the Fight Club was funny. It was more funny watching you guys go round in a circle and be like, oh god, we're going to fireball it. It's going to go down in flames. Quite literally. So the Scottish Crown. So you walk towards the Scottish Crown. What you were told from the so in the Scottish Crown, you know about the Vortanus Institute, which is where you guys where Von. Who the hell was it? Was it just the boys? Oh yeah, it was when Fabian wasn't here. You guys dropped off the Mind Flayer / vampire body. So they have custody of that, and they told you that whilst you were in town and you were privy to certain information, that they had something that you could potentially help with. A young student, that they called Horatio, who was one of their most promising students. So the Vortana School is a wizard school, one of the first, if not the first, wizarding schools teaching magic. One of their more promising students had been stealing or had stolen some scrolls, but had taken some of great importance, some higher level spell scrolls, and they wanted.
I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
He was a brown-haired human. He's early 20s, and he lived in Scholar's Crown.
Yes, I think they did give you the.
It's Horatio Alterim.
Yes,
I think they showed us an image of him.
I'm pretty sure they did a minor image of him as well. So
Yeah.
So you knew exactly who you're looking for. But yeah, promising student that was probably in his like late teens, going into early 20s, that had stolen from them. And they were, for some scrolls they wouldn't have minded so much, but spell scrolls, again, being the first wizarding school, spell scrolls aren't something that are seen everywhere. They're fairly rare. But the two spell scrolls they want you to go after, they said you'll know because they will be of potent power. You'll be able to detect magic on them and feel that they're of a higher spell energy, and that they would like them back because they could cause some problems. And offered you, 1,500. But they were saying that he could have been stealing other spell scrolls as well, but they were the two that they were desperately after.
They did say there would be additional gold for additional scrolls, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just not big money.
Yeah, you can imagine it'll be a gold per spell level sort of situation.
Okay, so Scholars, whatever it is.
Scholars Crown. So yeah, you can head towards Scholars Crown. You pass by. It's to get into Scholars Crown. It's not too far away. It's behind the main Commonwealth building. So where you were in front of the Druid's house, like the Druid's house, and then the Commonwealth are not too far apart. So if you kind of waltz along, go round the outskirts, or the south side of the Commonwealth fort, where the outside wall is, you quickly make your way into the Scholars Crown. You notice it has a very similar style to Morgana's throne. A little bit nicer, although only because I think only really, well, those that live here obviously have been here before, but only Arta's been outside. Where on the west side, where some of the more standard residential is, they're less fancy. But Morgana's throne and Scholars Crown are fairly fancy in decoration, in decor, in like townhouse appearance. And as you kind of are meandering through, you can see that there's the stores you go past and see along some of the main streets are all to do with they are very. It's a very wizarding central. Lots of bookstores and manuscript areas and paper salesmen and ink. So very similar to the stationery one, but with a bit more of a magical essence here. So you can see that around this, it's like reading this culture, this wizarding kind of school is permeating around the whole of the district. So as you're passing by, at this point, a lot of the shops are shutting, if not already shut, and people are making their way back.
Could we catch someone at the Celestial Tomes before they shut?
You can.
Or would that already be?
Give me a luck check. Straight D20.
That's 16.
16, nice. You can see that the shops are starting to close, and you notice the time as you kind of like get a bit of a two-step on to get there. You can see that just as you are arriving at the Celestial Tombs, you can see that someone was. They're like closing up some bits, but you open the door and can walk in. As turning around is an older elven gentleman who turns around and goes, "Oh, we were just about to close."
It won't take a moment of your time. I just wanted to ask a quick question, actually.
Well, I mean, yeah, if it's a quick question, then yes, but it is about time for the end of the day, so...
Of course. I just wanted to ask, over the last few days or so, have you had someone that, give the description of Horatio, try and come in and sell any scrolls to you?
Looking at... Give me a persuasion check. For him spending enough time to look.
Not my good point. Well, that's an 8.
8. He looks at the thing and looks up at you. Almost, you can almost see that he's kind of like, you're asking about. He like looks earnestly at the photo, and then looks back at you and is a bit like, no, not someone that I recognise. And we don't have many people that deal or know in scrolls, but can I ask who you are and why you're asking about certain people?
Just trying to help out a friend at the Wisden School. There's been some reports of some shady people lurking around, so it's just trying to get an idea if we can find this person.
That and we're nosy.
Oh, well, nosiness is, sometimes it leads to good discoveries. We tend to look less at the magical and more into the historical with these things, but I don't recognize anyone. Normally our clientele are a little older. The youngsters aren't as interested in history as they maybe should be.
That is a shame.
It really is a shame, actually. And you see, like, kind of lean back. It really is, because there's so much we can learn from looking back into the past. Those that come back asking for things that we thought have forgotten, but, just waiting to be discovered again by somebody else.
Hey, Faywin. Doesn't your dad love books?
He does, yes.
Maybe we should get him a gift for breakfast.
Oh, the gentleman was closing, Zaga. I don't want to be a pain.
Have you got any rare, fancy books, sir?
We have many terms or scripts. What period are you interested in?
What's your fanciest book? Does it have pictures? I love the ones with pictures.
I thought this was a gift for my father, Zaga.
He'll love pictures too.
We don't. We have some of the historical rubbings of certain drawings and stuff, but not pictures per se. They tend to, and I'm with you, they tend to be a little text heavy. Some of these historians and these law documents.
What have you got in that you would think someone who works at the Commonwealth Library would be impressed by?
Oh, the Commonwealth Library. Well, let me think. And he goes through some bits. He's like, anyone in particular at the Commonwealth Library, or?
What's your dad's name again, Faywin?
Oh, I don't want to tell you his name. It's Mr. Oakshire. He's been there for many a year. He's my father.
Oh, I know Mr. Oakshire. Yes. We have had many dealings. He, it would be tough to find. He is a man of quite exquisite taste, and I believe has read a majority of the books. A man with much knowledge. Maybe something. Let me think. Something less. How about? And he goes rummaging around and he pulls out a small box and opens up. He goes, "How about something like this?" And it's like a range of different sized and slightly like gold or platinum plated magnifying glasses. Something for a man that has read a lot, but maybe he could do an upgrade of some of his tools would be more useful than a particular book. I fear that there's not much here that would surpass what they have in that library. That library is quite comprehensive, let me tell you.
How much is that?
It depends which one you want, but anywhere from 25 gold pieces for the small one up to 150.
Give me something in the mid-range.
Oh, the mid-range, okay. And he takes one out, and it has like a not ivory, like a real dark wood, very polished handle with gold trim around the end, a gold end with like a small hook that enables you to put like leather strap and stuff through. And then it's a decent-sized, probably like mouse-sized magnifying glass that he holds out to you in its like little velvet case. It's like, this is a nice mid-range one for someone of his stature, would be good. And he's getting older like the rest of us, not as old as me, of course, but this would come in useful for many, many years if you were to look after it.
What's the price?
100 gold.
100 gold. Would you do it for 90 for Mr. Oakshine?
Freeman, you breathe.
Sorry, no, I was just
Is
unreal. Could Faywin put the back of her hand on Zaga's forehead?
If she wants to.
I just want to check that you're feeling okay, Zaga.
Feeling fine.
I don't know if you were getting intercepted. Give me a persuasion check. I was just wondering if you intercepted him before I asked for a roll.
No. I was just
26.
side.
Oh yeah. He goes, oh, definitely 90 gold, and he goes, I'll just include this in here as well, and he leaves like a very nice embossed, almost like business card piece. It just says exactly where it's from as he includes it in the thing. He's like, would you like me to package this up for you now?
Yes, please. And by the way, if you do hear anything about somebody who maybe is trying to sell some scrolls, please remember us, Mr. Oakshine's daughter here with us, and let us know if we come back by here.
Give me another persuasion check.
It always helps persuading someone after you bought something.
Yeah.
21.
I think the combination of you buying something and the link.
Name dropping.
Yeah, name dropping.
Right.
He says, well, I'm not one, as he's like packaging it up and like putting a bow on. So it comes in just like a normal, like what you get in a square case. I have a pocket watch that comes in this case, but it's in a box, leather, like a nice velvety inside that fits in beautifully, and it's got some engravings in Elvish around the handles as well. So he puts it all together and he's packaging up. He's like, well, I haven't heard from too much of scrolls. I know the Vortanis are trying to keep their hands on this new magic that they are creating, and it's causing quite the fuss. And I believe there was a few leaks and ways of getting some of these scrolls out that I heard. A new but old friend of mine, a man called... he kind of looks left and right. He's like, we'll call him Master Dark Magic. Has been round... I hear he's been buying up a few little bits here and there, papers and inks that may be used for these scrolls, and some say, the charismatic fellow that he is potentially selling some of these. But he is a wonderful, stately, older gentleman. He has a wonderful, great grey beard. Unlike your friend here, is...
Mr. Dark Magic, eh?
Yes.
Well, thanks for the tip.
No, like I say, I'm not one to gossip, just news that I've heard around town. It doesn't have to come from me. And he hands over to you.
No, of course.
Holds his hand out for the gold.
Oh, yeah, hands over 90 gold.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Well, how much is 1 platinum? Is it easier to hand over 1 platinum?
Platinum's 10 gold.
Oh, he hands over 9 platinum.
Okay. It's like, ooh, well, I can see we are in good company. Platinum is not, obviously, that common.
Yeah, Zaga looks at Faywin for approval for being fancy.
Faywin is very impressed. I am not, but Faywin is very impressed with Zaga's kind thoughtfulness. It's been a pleasure to meet you, sir. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My name is Master Callista Sablecloak.
Faywin Oakshine, nice to meet you.
I got that earlier. Nice to meet you all. But yes, like I say, I am looking to close now. You know, no rest for the wicked and all that.
Oh, we'll be
hard
off.
day's work. But yet, if you need anything else or you come across any areas, we have. I mean, if you are in with Master Oakshire, then you probably won't be needing too much of our lore. But we do hold some decent scrolls and interesting documents from across history. If there's anything he can't help you with.
Thanks for your time.
Have a nice evening.
And you.
As we get back outside the shop, Zaga will say to the group, "So who's this dark magic?"
Gotta be that Horatio, right?
I think he's disguising himself as this younger man.
Roll.
And either that or he's got like a.
I'm
understudy.
wondering, is he like a name that people familiar with the city would be familiar with?
Roll history checks.
I'm not going to, because Zaga won't know.
20.
It's not for it being in the city. It's for you guys. 20.
Oh, okay. Where's history?
17.
5.
17 for Zach.
The three of you were 17, definitely. You remember one charismatic salesman in Redvant by the name of Gallon had access to scrolls and was being sold by a man that he called Jim Dark Magic.
Hey,
So
didn't
you
you get
have
that
heard that name
fireball
before.
scroll from somebody who told us about dark magic?
Wasn't he the guy that
Yes.
made us our weapons, Saga?
Yeah, Gallon.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
If only he had a sending stone and we could talk to him.
I remember whether I was Corin or Otter at the time.
You would have been Otter, because it was as you left Redvant.
We were in the
You were in
the
yeah,
Redvant
that's
hideout.
Yeah, it was right before you left. Yeah, he had a load of
Gavin?
stuff to sell, and he had a load of scrolls, and you were asking about more powerful scrolls. Essentially, I think you kept just asking for a fucking fireball scroll, right? And he said he doesn't get a lot of scrolls, but he gets some from a contact in Allhearth called Jim Dark Magic. That's all you got was a name. I think you'd asked who to speak to when you got here. Casually, you forgot it, clearly.
Yep.
Yep.
It wasn't a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
So I guess we got to find this dark magic fella.
Well, it
Also-
seems like he's known here.
Also, Zaga, what? It's not like you to be spending that much money.
I know it's so kind, Zaga. Oh, my father will love it.
Well, if we get these scrolls, it's just a fraction of what we're going to get back. It's an investment.
I also
My
think it's a
father won't
bribe.
be.
It's
my
definitely a
father-
bribe.
Bribe for what? What have you got planned?
Just being nice to your father, I guess. Maybe he wants like a pony or something.
Don't we all? Maybe for this gym. Sorry, Faven was just gazing off into the distance, thinking about getting a pony. Maybe if we're gonna look for this gym guy, we could name drop Gallon. That seems to work. Name dropping.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Zaga, nothing. Just sometimes it's who you know, not what you know.
Well, yeah, who you know is going to get me into the Commonwealth.
Oh, so that's why you're being kind and buying my father a gift.
Well, it's a combination. It was to get information and to... You're not very good at this persuading people to talk to you, Faywin.
Was that harumph?
Humph. Yeah.
So,
I noticed there was no argument, though.
I mean, me and Faywin don't have a leg to stand on
yeah.
with that.
Are we carry on looking around?
It's up to you. Have you got anything better to do?
No, not really. I mean, the Fight Club's not open tonight, so no.
Fine club. Cool. Do you want to head deeper into the Scholar's Crown? So you, I would say even Faywin and Von. There wouldn't have been many opportunities, like there wouldn't be much for you to come into the Scholar's Crown for, in terms of knowing like where to go and look for certain things. You know there's certain shops in here, but again, if you didn't really live here and you weren't mixing in the wizard crowds, and as druids, you definitely weren't mixing in the wizards crowds. It's what you'd be looking for to try and find this a figure within what is a like vastly residential district.
While we're walking around, can I just keep an eye out for Valerie?
Yeah.
I guess just try and keep an eye out for kind of what looks like a bit more social areas than just
Any
housing.
pubs about?
Yeah. Okay. If you like, suppose that if you start to follow up, pick up the movements of the crowds as their shops are shutting, people moving back from works, you kind of make your way towards a slightly more like bustling area. Yeah, you can make your way towards where, not far from where the alchemy shop is. There's like a small courtyard with a few what seem to be like after work bar type places. Very, I would say, just to play into the wizardy bullshit, they're a bit more wanky wine bar than they are tavern pub.
Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, you can wander in as you get to like. There's a few of these square, and as you get kind of further into this district as well, you see that a lot of the scholars district, they have more where a lot of Morgana's throne is like 3-story townhouses. As you get deeper into Scholars Crown, you can see that they've gone higher with some of these buildings, and it seems to be going more into like apartment block than it is townhouse. So you can see that around these more populated areas, there are these slightly taller buildings, not like freaking 15 stories high, but you're talking maybe like 5-6 stories high. And just the way that they're set up with like staircases and bits on the outside, you can see that these are individual apartments where they're obviously trying to fit more and more people in here, much cheaper than living in a very expensive townhouse in Morgana's Throne, or a small terrace house which is on like the east side of the city. The gentrification of areas.
So are we gonna get a drink and see if we can pick up some clothes? Artie, you look like you could do with a drink.
Drink sounds good to me.
Oh, you said Otter. I thought you said Arter.
No, I said Arter.
No, you did say Ada.
Good. No.
Can we all just remember? I mean, I don't mind going into a bar and having a drink, but you are meeting my parents for breakfast. Can I just put that out there? I don't feel like I need to say anything more.
Faywin, we're on the job. I don't know what you're accusing us of.
Faywin raises an eyebrow.
I don't need to say any more.
A lack of trust is hurtful.
We look for one of the busier bars.
Yeah. As you're walking in there's a few of them that are around, but one that there's got like stand-up space outside, so like taller, what would be like breakfast stool bars, but they've got a few of these chairs, and you see as you're kind of milling up, just floating about, a few people get up and leave off, like well-dressed, mainly elves or half-elven people leave, and you kind of can jump into that spot there to give you a good perch on the edge of one of the bars, but also so you can see around the kind of square of the hustle and bustle of all these different places that people are drinking at. It's called the Burgundy Spoon. You are all... you can, as you look around as well, as with passive perceptions, I think you'd pick up that it won't take long before you guys start to stand out, because you look around, you don't see a weapon across anyone that you're sitting here, you don't see any armor or across kind of anyone that's wearing bits, so you're like, okay, I can see that if we definitely soon enough will start to stand out in this sort of area. You'll attract some attention at least. As you sat down, and a young female Human comes up and asks you what you'd like for a drink.
I'll take a
What
rum,
are we
please.
drinking?
Rum, always rum.
Rum? Would you like rum by the? Would you like the bottle or?
Fabian looks at Otto.
Normally, I would say yes, but I'll just take 2 doubles for now, please.
Okay, and she goes here and passes over like a piece of, like kind of flicks through, pulls out a piece of parchment. It's got a list of rums on there, of different price, starting from like a silver glass, which is pretty expensive for rum. As a pirate rum, it's like well above what you'd pay, and it goes from like silver, 2 silver, 5 silver, a gold, and you're like, some of this rum is spenny.
I'll take one from the top, the very top, and one from the very bottom. Let's give it a bit of a taste test.
Good choice. She takes back the menu from you.
Can I get a bottle of red wine for the rest of us?
Bottle of red wine, yes, indeed. Any preference? Region, grape?
Draka?
There wouldn't be from the Ice Island Draka. Interesting. I'm not sure we have anything.
I don't know. What have you got?
She's like, hey, and she passes you over a menu. And again, you can see it very similar. Starts at probably about 10 silver, a bottle of wine, and then shoots down from there. And as you look at the names, you can see certain regions. There's a fair amount that comes from Bryn here. The halflings produce a crap ton of bits. There's some, there's like 1 or 2 Redvant ones in there that are on the cheaper scale. And then there's a load of ones that have more regal names that you know are coming from the south.
Zaga knows nothing about wine.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to look for something with a fancy name.
Yep. And then pick that one.
Pick that one. Should I roll a dice or something?
Yeah. If it's disgusting or not.
Let's roll a d20 and see what we get. Oh, a 19. This is going to be spenny.
19 is going to be spenny, yeah. You're like, pick something on there. And you're like, cool, this one looks good. And it's called the Young King's Reserve. You're like, Young King, it's cool. And then when you look across, you're like, oh. It's spenny, but it's only like 10 gold a bowl. For drinks, very spenny. But for buying like other stuff, not so spenny.
Yeah. I'll take that one, I guess.
She's like, very good choice. I shall check that we can get a bottle from the cellar.
Fabian puts the back of her hand on Zaga's forehead again.
I don't know
Zaga,
what this is about. Zaga has always been eager to spend money when he's got it.
Are you sure that you're okay? Did you see the price of that wine that you just picked?
Look, I couldn't back down, all right?
Oh goodness, do you want some money towards
This
it?
is a fancy place.
Do you want... I get my coin purse out. Do you need some money towards
I'm
it?
pretty sure I'm richer than you.
Oh, right.
Wow. She goes around. Does anyone want anything in particular, or you can just knock off golds or silvers to pick up stuff? But yeah, you get there as she goes around. The liquors are higher quality liquors. They don't have like the house rums and bits that you've got in bars and taverns. You highly doubt they'll have ales being made.
Can I ask for a still lemonade, please?
A still lemonade, yes. Would you like some ice with that? We have the finest ice from Draka. She looks towards.
It didn't
No.
help.
Ice will water it down. I need to have the full taste.
Oh, freshly squeezed. Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll
I'll have one of
And
those.
as I do that,
Two.
I like pull the top of my turtleneck, just like pull it away, like I'm scratching my neck.
It's like,
Zaga looks annoyed because he just bought a very expensive bottle of wine for the table and he's ordering lemonades.
Don't worry,
I'd like
I'll
it with
help
ice.
you with that.
nice.
I'd like the Draka ice, please.
A Draka ice and the freshly squeezed orange juice.
Lemonade.
Oh, lemonade. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Perfect. That'll be coming right up. And she will come back and settle a bill after. But yeah, knock off appropriates. Further, it'll be like 2 silver for the orange juice. Because it is lemonade, sorry, because it is... Wait, there was one orange and one lemonade, right?
No, I wanted a
No,
lemonade.
both lemonade.
Oh, they're both lemonade. Oh,
Hey,
He said
did
lemonade
one-
and thought, oh, that's refreshing.
yeah. Maybe I just
I did
thought
1
orange.
gold and 1 silver. Sound about right?
Yeah, for your thing. So yeah, she goes away, comes back with them all, sets them all out. You can see that for your 1 gold and 1 shot, you get like a shot. Just oh no, you wanted a double shot, didn't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, she gives them both, hands them over, hands out all your drinks, brings over a few glasses to make sure that you've got enough of the wine, uncorks the wine, hands it over to you, Zaga, to taste.
Do we get free peanuts? Is it that sort of bar?
No.
They give like peanuts.
Can't give away peanuts this day and age. Allergies everywhere.
Zaga takes the wine, sniffs it, swishes it around in his mouth a little bit. He's like, yes, very good.
Perfect, perfect. And she goes out and pours out whoever wants glasses there. And then says,
Yeah, I'll have a glass of it.
Nice. Pours them out and, yeah, leaves you to it. As you can hear, this is a bar with just the after work crowd. Elves that have left from different, either from Vartanas or from their different roles. The fair amount of elves that work in the Commonwealth probably live around here as well. And you can see they peel out into these areas where they are this like kind of a big square. The center will have some kind of ornate plants, some trees, some shrubberies, and then around the outside have these bars, and then kind of on top of them around the outskirts are just these higher rise buildings, but again they're 5 or 6 stories high.
Zaga will cast Detect Magic in the vicinity to see if anybody here is a magic user, as they will probably know more about Mr. Dark Magic.
Interesting. So you cast Detect Magic and have a feel around. Obviously, you all light up like a Christmas tree. In the Scholar's Crown, would anyone be carrying magical items with them?
Well, it's also any visible creature that bears magic. So if there's a magic user. Magical
no, I think
items.
it's magical. Yeah, it's not. I think it's normally magical items.
Yeah, I think we
magical items or
I
spells.
tried using it on the boat, didn't I? Way back.
Yeah.
And I think we worked out then it was items rather than the people themselves.
Okay, I'm just looking at the spell description.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, if that's what we've decided.
But I think you can also pick up spells.
Oh, okay.
If like active spells are
isn't it?
being active spells,
Yeah.
Nice. That is a very good question. There would likely be a few pings of the odd item here or there on people. But as you are like looking around the bar, it's like there's probably 5 you could probably pick out. And as you look at them again, there's no weapons, no armors, no like adventurer types, no guard types here. They all look to be admin workers of some form. Just from their attire, I've got like nice dresses and stuff.
Are any of the magic items grouped near each other, like a group of people together at a table?
Ooh. Yeah, there would probably be one table that has a couple of the 5 in a group. As you look over, you can see that there's they seem to be like a little bit more raucous than some of the other ones. Not in a again, you're not in a tavern. These are like wine bars. Look to all be dressed in similar attire as if they maybe are work colleagues.
Things like city bros.
Yeah.
Zaga nods over towards that table and points out that a couple of them are holding magic things, so maybe they have some magical knowledge.
Do you want to just go over that, or?
Can I check to see if there's from the description, the image of Horatio, also the description of the darkness guy, Jim Darkness, see if he's in here. Either of them are in here.
Yeah, give me a perception. Give me a perception check. Horatio, you know what he looks like. Jim Dark Magic, you know, is just an old man with a big white beard.
Yeah. 13.
Would be yourself. 13. Okay, so you can keep a like a perimeter check out for if he turns up.
Hey, Faywin, why don't you go introduce yourself to those guys at that table
Why would I want to do that?
to get some information?
You want me to get information?
let them buy you a drink and chit chat.
Oh,
With your
right.
eyelashes.
Right.
Maybe you want to be
Okay.
their special friend.
We're going down that route, are we? Zago? Really?
Fine, I guess not.
You could do that. You could flutter your eyelashes, maybe wag your
Arthur,
new
why don't
tail.
you go over there and flatter your eyelashes?
No. I want to keep an eye out for Valerie.
Yep. You know when you keep
Zago,
saying
we
Valerie and the person's name's not Valerie, that you're not ever
I
going to
know.
find them, right? Okay, good.
No, but
I'm
I know
just
what they look
hoping we're there. Oh, okay. Give me a perception check. I'm just checking because you keep saying the wrong names. I'm like, you're never going to find them because you've got the wrong
I'm
person.
not looking for someone with a name tag.
I
Like,
thought they actually were called Valerie.
No, they're called.
no.
No.
I think they're called Verity.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There we go.
something
That's
like
Oh, like a My Little Pony.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an odd reference. That's a 13.
Okay, cool.
Uncle duties, you know.
Mm-hmm.
My little
Yeah,
hippogriff.
yeah. Uncle's a brony.
Cool. 13. Cool. So you'll keep an eye out for Verity.
I'm like nursing my lemonade because it was expensive and I don't want to buy
it's pretty
another.
expensive. Yeah, so you've got that great, and as you see, like the people are floating in and out of the bars, moving around. A lot of them then shooting up into these different apartment block type things.
Fine,
Zago,
I guess
why
I'll
don't
do
you
this
go over?
myself.
I can come with you if you like.
Yeah, come with
As
me,
a
sure.
as a buff. Okay. Jeez. I hand my bow because obviously it's quite big. I hand it to Von.
Yeah.
I keep my
Would
sword on
you-
my waist.
Could you look after this for me?
Of
And maybe don't drink too much wine. And then yeah, I've still got my dagger in case Zaga kicks off. But
Ay. Okay, cool. So you make your way over to the bar. You can see as you get over there, they're all cheer and they're proper huddled up around chatting. You can see there's like 7 or 8 of them here, but yeah, 3 of them had pings of magical bits on there. As you get close, you can hear them just have a general shit chat, taking the piss out of someone for certain thing, talking about certain names of people that you obviously have no reference to, and then laughing back after.
Zaga will approach the group
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Hey guys, this place is kind of dead. You guys look like you're a bit more fun than the rest of the crowd. Have any of you ever seen a treant?"
One of
oh my god,
such shit chat.
Yeah, I know, right?
One of them turns around, hearing again. So as they're stood up, these are similar height to Faerun, so like between 5 and 6 foot. A lot of these guys, elves,
Much taller than me.
much taller. One of them turns around and looks at you and goes, "Sorry, are you talking to us? I think you might have got lost. Your boat's that way, my little kobold friend."
his
Goes
boat.
to turn back.
Thought Fabian was going to carry on there.
No.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I didn't know if that was you in or out of character. So that Faerun scene.
I
is
mean,
great.
the lines are so blurred.
Exactly. It's so difficult. You roleplay to the max.
Yeah.
So that was Faerun saying his boat.
Yep, Faven said his boat.
So you are still fully. What armor do you wear? Leather armor.
I'm studded leather, yeah.
You're studded leather.
Although
Yeah.
it's straining at the seams, remember?
Yeah. You do look bulky as hell.
Swole.
You full.
I have a
armored.
really
Yeah, beefcake kobold.
I smell really nice because I had my washing done.
Mhm.
I
you still
look
have.
very clean and pristine now.
But you still have armor.
Split ends.
Fuck off. Yes.
What armor is it? Leather armor or metal armor?
Leather
let's go.
armor.
Mithril, isn't it?
Well, I've got leather armor selected.
If you got the wrong.
Oh no,
armor
I've got a
selected.
mithril breastplate.
Okay. Yes, you do have a mithril breastplate.
Don't forget who gave you that either.
As you say that, because this elf is kind of turns back and looks at you and goes, "Where have you come from? I don't think we have any need for a guard here. You escorting the kobold back to the rest of the party, or we're a little busy here, guys."
I'm just new in town, trying to introduce myself and chat to some people while I'm having a drink.
Seeing this, I shout over. He likes making friends.
Oy, this is. I'm
Ask him to sing you a song.
looks at, as you see like a few of them turn and look over to your table and what's going on there. It's like, okay, see, some adventurer types have wandered a little bit too far north, have they? Your inns for yourself are usually, a bit further down south. You'll probably find, some more people there that like to talk about, I don't know, whatever it is, sleeping rough and stabbing things.
Excuse you. I'm absolutely furious. In real life.
Zaga's thinking to himself, wow, and I thought Fabian was snooty.
Oh, if you'd said that in character, I would have said, yeah, don't you know who her dad is? You didn't, so,
What do you mean, sleeping rough?
Alright. I mean, hey, I don't want any trouble here. We're just trying to enjoy our evening, and you guys have kind of forced yourself into this conversation, and you don't look like you live or work here. So I was just offering some friendly advice. Maybe make your way down south. You'll find some more adventurer types. You can talk about whatever it is you guys talk about, and we'll go back to our conversations. Just not to turn away from you guys. A few of them give you like strange looks as they pick up their vino.
I shout over in Elvish. I suggest you be. You want some friendly advice? I suggest you be polite to that lady there.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, Grandad. Whatever you say.
Grandad.
Like humans.
I turn to Otter like, Otter, we don't need to.
Sorry, can I just say that out of character, this reminds me of going for drinks in Bank after work, and I'm getting so angry.
Full
Yeah, City
bank
Bros.
vibes. The city bro. This
Proper
is
bankers.
That's what I was going for. I've decided
Yeah.
wizards
My
are
business
like
around
banker
the corner
wankers.
before,
Wizards aren't cool in this world at the moment.
Zaga uses his hat of disguise
Mm-hmm.
to cast disguise self and to make himself look like one of them, but Zaga-sized
Yeah.
in their fancy clothes. And then he says, "Ooh, look at me! I'm a fancy posh twat."
Oh look, the circus clown is performing tricks for us now. I don't know what you want to achieve here, but we're trying to just enjoy ourselves. I don't know if there's someone here that can sort out the riffraff. We've got some. They've had maybe a little bit too much. Anybody? As you can see, like this guy's turned his back on you. The others that are like the opposite side of the table are giving you cursory glances to check you don't try anything when he's not looking. But yeah, it's gone fully dismissive.
God, I wish Corin was here to pickpocket them. Bastards. Telepathically to Zaga, we're not getting anywhere here with this bunch of morons. I don't think even if they could know something, they would. They look thick as sh. And then stop saying anything because Fabian apparently doesn't swear.
I turn to Von and say, "You fancy doing some of that magic water stuff?"
I always fancy doing some magic water stuff.
Just imagine they're a bugbear or something.
Oh, it's easy enough to do. So yeah, as that one is going to have a drink, I'll be assuming the other two have moved away from the table now.
Zaga's still standing where he is.
Yeah, same,
half
but I don't
expecting
mind
a
if I
fight.
get smashed. Yeah. I won't mind if I get wine on me.
I'll say back to Otter, I'll wait until they move because otherwise it could cause more issues.
Okay.
Nice. So you guys, these guys carry on drinking, aware that you're there. You can feel like, and again, very fracas. They will be mean, but they are in their after work drinking wine, trying to ignore you, hoping you're just going to go away.
I just sit there staring at them.
Zaga will look across the table, and he switched back to his kobold look, and just tap his sword on his waist a couple of times before turning around.
Nice. I think if
Kind of an invitation to meet me outside.
with you and a sword, and
Outside, how about
him
that?
and a fucking chinos and a shirt, and you've got a sword. As you do that, one of the wait staff from this pub comes over and just says, "Look, not sure what's going on here, but I'm sure this can be diffused and forgotten about. How about you head back over to your table, your friends, and we'll look after our clientele here, please. Thank you."
Oh yeah, we're going. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it smells here. Disgusting.
Fabian, you would be aware. Would you be aware?
I would.
You would be aware.
Absolutely.
Roll a history check.
11.
You remember one time that Meadow tried to get you outside of your comfort zone and go and meet up with the city boys from the Commonwealth, be a little bit naughty in your younger days. That
Was one of them a dwarf?
but when there was a dwarf, and he was that you'd been down here before, and what put you off coming to this sort of area and stuff before is there was a bit of fisticuffs that went on before, and it wasn't long before Commonwealth guards turned up.
Okay.
So there aren't like, you can see no one's really got any weapons in this sort of area. There's no one that's this armed. You guys are very odd for coming in fully geared up. But yeah, the one time that you and Meadow went out and she would convince you to come out and try and drink in some of these bars, that there was one time that was a bit of a fight, and it wasn't long before. After that had been split up and they'd kind of had their little to and fro tuft, that a few Commonwealth guards turned up, and the guards here are the ones you see at the gate. They're armored. They have either some light swords or some pikes. They have some armaments. Again, a lot of them are very pretty and very polished. Don't get used. Think like Kingsguard in London. They're not there to be used, but they are sharp enough to be used if they need to be used. So if there's any problems in these sort of areas, there are guards that come in to kind of shut them up and shut them down, a bit like a police force.
Come on, Zachary, let's go.
Zachary turned round after tapping his sword.
And I had said it
He's
smells.
offered the invite.
Meet me outside. You guys, you get good. You can see that they get a good look as you guys kind of walk back to your table. Yeah, that went well.
Anytime you have to talk to anybody, it goes well.
Sometimes it does. You did all right with the old man in the shop. So yeah, carry on drinking. You got the bottle of wine to get through. You can see.
I was waiting for Bonbon to do whatever he
I was
was
going to say. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, if he does go for a drink, I will try and sneakily do the old water trick, pulling it down himself.
Nice. Give me a sleight of hand check, because they'll be watching you, and you've already shown that you have some magical aptitude as a group.
If they look under my breath, I want.
18.
18. Nice.
I was hoping he was going to.
Yeah, as you do it, and he's just like, and the other guy's like, hey, give him shit for it, as this guy gets red wine spilt down his shirt, as he looks around a bit like, what the fuck, but goes to carry on drinking, but an 18 doesn't notice anything else. They've gone fully to ignoring you guys now.
I don't think we're going to get anything from here.
I don't think they would have known anything anyway. They're not
Yeah,
the types.
I was going to say the exact same thing. They're not the types.
They
You should
probably
get
don't
tons of
think
shit
we
in
are.
them when they come out.
If they had any kind of magical aptitude, they'd have done something when I changed my look.
I don't like it here.
Elsewhere then.
I hate it here.
Well, we got to finish this bottle of fancy wine I paid for.
We would take
Yeah,
it
put it in the bag of holding. Let's get out of this shithole.
Wow. You see if
And
you
then I
walk
call
around
them
and look at you.
pricks in Elvish, but quietly to myself.
Oh, okay.
Very angry.
Okay.
I say the same, but loudly.
It's Telathim in Elvish. Prick.
Nice. As you put the cork the wine and put it in your bag.
Yeah.
Cool. and leave. Call him a prick. You hear there's a few people watching now, so you have been clocked by different others. As you get up to leave, they kind of just let you go without. This is very British in response. So even if you call him a prick out loud, as long as you're walking away, everyone's happy that you're just walking away. No one wants to see. No one wants to see adventurers in their nice bars.
I mean, it's very British in a wine bar, maybe. If it was British in a proper pub, there'd be a ruck.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's not a proper pub.
As we're walking, we're outside and walking.
Mm-hmm.
I will then say, I remember why I never used to come to Scholar's Crown.
Really? I thought you were snooty until I met them.
I just thought it was because the lemonade was a bit overpriced.
There's a lot of those types around here.
What, expensive
Seem to be,
lemonades?
well, yes, that and pricks. Seem to be protected by the guards for some reason. Probably pay them off. Probably have rich fathers. Unlike some.
I see what you mean about Corin's feet.
So, does anyone else know anywhere around here that maybe might be able to lead us to this dark magic fella?
I think any bars in this area are going to be similar to that one. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like I kind of stood out in there with all my gear.
Yeah, they don't like our sort of people around here, do they?
How does turtleneck fit in?
That's true. Maybe we should all go and buy a turtleneck.
I know exactly the place, and I reckon I might be able to get a group discount because
Get
they
their
love being
suits.
there. I haven't told them about the suits yet.
Yeah, I know. But just maybe came to mind.
I don't think we're really gonna get anywhere tonight. Should we save it for tomorrow?
If he's a magic kind of fella, then maybe some of the other magic users in the city have heard of him. I mean, we're going back to the Druid house, right?
Yeah,
Maybe someone there knows something.
maybe.
I'm going to go back to my parents' house
Mm-hmm.
and collect everyone in the morning to take them back for breakfast.
Oh, you're going to stay at your parents' house?
Yeah, I'm going to
you
let
are
them
to
know.
gonna
dodge the
collect us,
breakfast
though.
that you hadn't invited us to.
No. She'll come back and pick you up. So I tell the group I'm going to stay at my parents' house. We have some catching up to do, and then I'll come and collect you from the Druid's house in the morning for breakfast.
Yeah,
Please
it's probably
don't be
better than
alone.
sharing a room with Bonbon again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to save your journey, we could all stay at your parents' house.
No, it's fine. You should go and speak to the Druids about your magical questions. We
Our
can leave
magical
you
questions.
alone.
You're part of the team, remember?
I know, Zaga, but I need to kind of catch up with my parents so that I'm not just constantly asking them things like, can they get you into the Commonwealth, for example?
I mean, what else have you been asking for?
Well, I'm going to be asking for Otter to have a conversation with my father as well, and I may have mentioned something about sending stones, but I want to spend
Sending
time with my
stones?
son.
Sending stones.
Well, I just see
Sending
everybody else
stones.
using them, and I feel left out, and I just feel like it
Who are
would
you gonna
good
be?
to
Who are you
have
gonna be sending messages to?
my father. If ever we need questions for some things in his
Oh, you're
library.
asking Daddy for sending stones. Okay.
Or do you want to buy them for me instead? I thought maybe having a link to Allhearth might be useful.
I mean, I can just talk to you right now. I don't need to send this down to speak with you.
I wouldn't want to use them with you anyway, Otter, and maybe my father won't want to speak to you in the morning.
Oh, I think you will.
Oh.
Just remember, please, to ask them if there'll be duck.
The supermarkets in Allhearth will still be open.
No,
So
not
24-hour Tesco.
no 24-hour
Yeah.
Tesco. No,
What
you
time
might.
would they open in the morning?
They'll open early in the morning. They'll be like up with sunrise. They'll open early and then finish early. They go with the sun.
I was just thinking whether or not I buy some duck for Zaga for my
Mhm.
mum to cook.
That sounds like something that you should decide rather than use as bait.
Alright, so
Right.
Fabian's off to her parents. We're off to the Druid house.
Yep. Yeah, you found out some more information, so you know that that there's another character that has some link that you know roughly of scrolls, but yeah, for who you spoke to and where you went to. I think in the Scholar's Crown was screaming out to you. You also have, if there's more questions you have about actual Horatio himself, the people, to remind you, the people that gave you the quest might have more information about that person as well.
Yeah.
You are going off. They showed you
I was
who he
thinking
was,
that.
and then you
Go
kind
back
of
to them.
left. But yeah, those that know him best are probably the ones that gave you the quest in the first place.
He can't be a criminal. He's got such a cool name.
Horatio.
It's a cool name.
It is a cool name. Sweet. So yeah, you'll head back respectively. Those it will be late as well to go back to the druids. There would be anyone really there again other than Tycho, probably staring at stars. There's not going to be many at the druid's house. So you can go back, spend the evening, have an evening's rest, wake up the next day and head up for breakfast, if that's the plan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zaga, run me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh god. 5.
5. You have a horrific night's sleep. You have nightmare. You wake up boiling hot and sweating, and you just have recurring nightmares of different things that happen in a day. Waking up and like your gold purse is gone, and then you're reliving part of the day again. You're in the shop with the old man, and you buy the magnifying glass, and it costs you 5,000 gold, and you're handing away the gold. And as you're handing away the gold, you can just feel this like yearning not to do it, but you're watching yourself do it. And then you replay again, and you're in the bar and you're buying wine, and as you're pouring the wine out, it costs you. You're giving away gold, but as you're pouring it out, it looks like blood, and you just have these rotating images bound again as you wake up again, as things have been stolen. It goes round and round and round, and you can't. Essentially, you stay within the rest of the sleep. But as you wake up in the morning, you have 1 point of exhaustion. So your D20 rolls for the day would be -1.
Yeah. Do I notice any theme, like the theme of hoarding?
You pick up the theme. All the theme is majority of the theme is around gold at least. Transactions throughout your day are plaguing you in there, and you can't pick up enough. I suppose with the 5, you were so deep in it that you just get that. Every single one of them had some form of gold in it, but other than that, it was just pure terrifying. You weren't lucid enough to pick out anything in enough detail.
Zaga will also emerge for the day without his studded leather armor.
Mm-hmm.
He, at some point in the evening, started prodding his scales and realised that they were probably going to do about as good a job as the armor.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point wearing it, and it was starting to, be a bit tight.
Yeah.
So he's going to be free in his old adventuring gear.
Nice.
You may have to get a new suit though.
That's what we're here for, baby. Let's go shopping. Nice. So yeah, you wake up, you have that. No, everyone else, peaceful night's sleep. As you wake up fresh the next day. Faywin, were you buying some stuff?
At the crack of dawn, I go out and I buy some duck for my mum to make
Mm-hmm.
in the morning.
Yep.
I'm hoping she's agreed to it.
Yeah, so you would have gone back in that evening. Your parents would have been home, and then you had told them that your friends are coming around for breakfast.
Yep. And also just spent the evening just having a nice conversation with them, just catching up on things and taking a walk down memory lane and mentioning about enjoying holidays when I was young and sort of looking at my mum when talking about holidays.
Roll 2 insight checks for me.
First one's 15, second one is 21.
15. So for breakfast that your mum acts very pleased, but you can see deep down that she is maybe not so happy that you have invited a bunch of strangers around for breakfast with 0 days notice. You pick that up quite clear on her face. Her poker face isn't great. Maybe she wasn't even trying to use it. For the second one, as you're going through and discussing holidays, you do notice the odd flit as you're talking about them that you are reminiscing, but as you are flicking, as you're talking about them flicking to them, you can see that your mum kind of gives you a look back, a knowing look of just like, you probably follow a thread too well, or like repeat a certain thing too well. You're like, oh, let's talk about all that time that we went to that place, and then the same time we went to the place. It's like, okay, it's a random bit out of nowhere. You're picking these are the things you're talking about. So there's a look you get, and you two, I would say, probably clock eyes on it, of just like, what are you up to
Good.
during the evening?
I would also like to take the time to warn my parents, mainly my dad, because he doesn't know that. Because I think I've already told him about the group.
You would
When we were walking and speaking in Minotaur, when we were going to the library, I said, "Oh, I've got a friend, Arthur, and he did the cleric thing for Meadow." Like, I went through that bit to give him an overview, but just to kind of reiterate that they're maybe not people that he's used to dealing with. Not just him, but my mum as well.
Or is he?
Well, as far as I'm aware, it's not.
So you go through and pick some details. Okay. In terms of what? Shady
Just things
characters, or
like-
like actual races of people or species?
Not that they're shady, because for Faywin they're her friends, so she doesn't see them in a bad light. But that
Your mum thinks
that-
they're shady. Yeah.
I know, but she's also a liar, so it's fine. No, more just kind of giving him a heads up that they're not going to be these posh elves. They're not all going to be Von walking in as elves that they may be used to. There are, a kobold that talks a lot and exaggerates his stories about slaying vampires, and
Right, yeah.
a cleric who's going to be wearing a turtleneck but also be fully armed, and a gothic, slightly angsty elf and a pirate. I want to kind of prepare them mentally for these people are going to be walking through their house.
I think that would take some hours. I think, as you're going through, that's fine. I think your dad would tell you that he, funnily enough, he has recently had some interactions with kobolds and dragonborn, and was waiting to tell you.
I'd love to know more, Father, about the Dragonborn, because I'm absolutely obsessed with them and their story. I think, actually, in fact, my kobold friend Zaga would like to connect with him. I think maybe he's a little homesick.
So he tells you that that they had been that he'd heard that they'd been around, but they had been in to see him to ask for some information on certain bits. So he'd got to meet some.
Does he tell me what the bits are that he was asking about?
Not. Depends if you probe. Would you ask more about what they were asking about?
Yeah.
So he would say that they were after. It's your dad's. There's no persuasion rolls required. They were after. Sorry, I do have it somewhere. They were more into some of the older stuff, some books that he hadn't pulled out in a long while. So he said, like you had pulled out some of them when you were going through some of the Death Room stuff, but they were going after a very specific thing, and they were looking at the pre the Fallen Conquest. So you're talking like 500 years past. So stuff that is right at the beginning, or right at the beginning of the collection of where these of where Allhav was created. The library was created. They wanted to go all the way back to the beginning. And they were interested in the idea of what he had around gods and what he had around like titans. And he explains to you like titans being gods beings that work. That kind of worked for the gods or worked between the elementals, and they were just asking for lots of stuff. And he pulled out a few different books that were, some of them were more were recent, but looking back as historical bits. But they were really interested in a certain titan, who was the Titan of the Sea. So he went through and showed them the books of those. Yeah, but he was like, yeah, it's strange because they were looking at some history books, but they were looking at some like lore type books, ones that are more fable and story based, and then some other stuff which were just like scrolls of few descriptions. But he remembers it being like hard work to go back to like the beginning of the set of the library and pull in stuff that they had been gifted or they have collected from 500 years ago, like before his time of curating the library.
I can imagine. I imagine that my friend Otto would love to hear about that because he's a man of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's homesick sometimes, so he's been on land a while now. So.
Yeah.
Wow, fascinating. Thanks, Father.
Very fascinating. Yeah, he was agrees. It was quite fascinating to go through and look at the idea of titans, these great beings that were said to the same way that we use the gods now and pray for harvest and pray for weather and pray for death and pray for these things, that they before had this idea of these great beasts that would control these sort of things instead, bearing on like elemental style. So it was for him, very fun day to go through and look at really, really old stuff he has not readers. And
Does he
to get
look
to speak to
happy when
Dragonborns.
he's saying it?
Yeah, he is giddy with excitement as he goes through and talks about, one, just getting to work with Dragonborn, who he probably has never worked with before, but two, going through with them and trying to give them the information they want.
Cool. Does he think that he could get us guest passes for the Commonwealth? For the people?
He can get you, yeah, I think he will be able to get you like visit passes in to come at least to the library.
Fabian is thinking, not saying this to Dad, but she's worried that he'll lose his job if they misbehave.
Mm-hmm.
What would she know the likelihood of that happening without saying it to her dad?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you'd have a pretty good idea that if you bring a bunch of visitors in and they fuck stuff up, it's probably not going to be looked that well upon. You brought in a load of people, a load of adventurers, and they just start destroying stuff. You are also known in there.
There's levels to misbehaving, isn't there?
There is levels to misbehaving, yeah.
And there's also someone who's very experienced in their job and probably hard to replace. So, for minor transgressions.
If anything
I'm
bad
hoping-
happens that I deem bad, he will be fired, and it will ruin the campaign and will stop.
Minor singeing.
Well, I'm hoping, first of all, there won't be a fireball, and second of all, we were asked if we wanted to come back to speak about what had been happening.
Yes, I mean,
With the,
so
so that could be like a
whilst the rest of the party aren't known, you have been seen alongside Mira in part of the Commonwealth, yeah. So he'll be able to get you in to go in as like visitors for the day, but yeah, once you should be able to arrange a meeting to get yourself some access to the Commonwealth, if that's the route you want to go to, talking to people. So yeah, you got many options. But yes, you are aware that if you bring him in and something seriously bad happens, that your dad would likely be reprimanded, of course. If you sneaking reprobates.
Maybe he could get us in, and then I'll take it from there to have the conversation about the council.
Mm-hmm.
To take the responsibility on Fabian's shoulders rather than her father's. I'd like to think that everyone isn't going to start kicking off and punching people and stuff, but you just never know.
Yeah, true.
And then the
it's to
last
what
thing
you
is
see.
that I let them know that I'll be out early in the morning to go collect my friends.
Okay. Yeah. So you have a lovely evening, sharing stories, going through, discussing previous holidays. Your mum giving you cursory glances every so often as you push on certain points a little bit too obviously. Your dad is none the wiser, of course, and he recounts stories of his time and what he's been showing people within the library. Anyone else want to do anything in the evening, or you all sleep and can wake up in the morning?
Are there any druids around?
In the morning, will be. Yeah. In the evening there might be a few that like pop in, would stay up and have a few ales in the rec room area. But in the morning is where they all wake up before they go off to studies or whatever else they're doing.
Do they have someone who's like in charge of like their armory with magical items and things?
So the druids that are here will just be. You'd be better going to the druid house to find that sort of thing. Here will just be a load of people that are either students or lower level druids that are doing around. You wouldn't know arse from elbow which ones are powerful, which ones aren't. They all look incredibly similar in their dress and attire. They don't really have there's no obvious hierarchical rank in dress for the druids.
No, I want someone who's more local to the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you know that some of them will be based here more regularly, but some of them will be out and in, and depending on that, you wouldn't know their rank in terms of that. In terms of sorting magical shit out for them, that would be within the individual houses.
Yeah, no, just looking for more clues about dark magic, but asking random druids is pointless.
Yeah.
Probably better off going to the wizards anyway. Because druids try to avoid anything wizardy anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to sleep.
Cool. So yeah, you'll sleep and awake the next day. Zaya with his nightmares and his wakes up sweaty, hot, and exhausted. The rest of you can get nice sleeps. Arthur sleeps incredibly well after being hungover for the whole day. Finally passed through all the alcohol.
And after those pastries.
And yeah, exactly, you've fully cleared the system. As you awake the next day, I need a quick wee, so we should take a quick pee break before we have breakfast at the Oakshines. Oakshine. What's your
What
name?
was I calling them last week? The Oakenshines.
Oakenshines.
So
Yeah,
close.
Oakshines. It was close. It's closer than you are when you're doing it on purpose.
It's almost like he wants something, isn't it?
It's really disconcerting, isn't it? Shall I just keep making more wisdom saving throws until he dies? So you're awake. Fresh and... Well, not so fresh for Zaga, but fresh for everybody else. In the morning. You going to pick up your friends?
Reluctantly, yes.
Cool. So you can go in, unless anyone wants to...
For the breakfast she didn't actually invite us to.
Oh, did you? No, you did. Did you tell them?
They invited
kind of
themselves.
invited ourselves.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, Jesus, that's even more awkward. So yeah,
And
you...
then Faywin felt bad because she was going to invite Ottar because he wanted to speak to her father, and if she didn't invite everybody else, so she felt bad.
You wake up in the morning and your mother is already working away in the kitchen, cooking up
I
a
offer her some help.
beautiful spread. She goes to give you some bits to help with, and then, like the control freak that she is, quickly takes them back and just says, "Don't worry about it."
Okay. Well, I'm going to go and pick them up.
So yeah, you head off to pick them up. So yeah, you can go wake up the boys in the morning, unless there's anything that they want to do being annoying. We can fast forward to being back at the house, but I like to give you guys the option.
Otis is just going to spend the morning getting himself all probably cleaned up. His normal scraggly beard and hair's now all plaited. And might be all looking quite dapper.
I like it.
It's been 2 days, right? This is the second day.
Yeah.
Is my suit ready to pick up?
It depends what it is. It will be today that it's ready to pick up. So it depends on what time breakfast, because breakfast will be in the morn.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it might be tight. You could try and run to do it. You might be a little late for breakfast.
But
I
he'd
don't
make a
want to miss out on
fantastic
free
entrance.
breakfast.
Yeah, true.
The entrance would be cool, but I don't want to miss out on free breakfast.
Okay.
Did I have to get a cane as well, or does that not happen yet?
No, I'm going to ask for one as part of the. No, actually, no. I don't need a cane. I've got a big warhammer that I can use as a cane.
I swear to God, you guys carry on. It's like sometimes I think, did I fall asleep for that part of the conversation, or is that's something that's just been made up? Like, what the hell happened?
Is anybody
cool.
else getting clean to meet my parents?
Yeah, I want to know how,
Oh no,
how
I'm just,
pristine you are.
Art has got some mustache wax, and he's twisting his mustache
Nice.
wonderfully.
I like it.
While searching through his bag, Zaga has realised that this tabaxi paw is rotten as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
He wraps it in the red cloak from the red cloaks and just throws it away.
Nice.
Art also sniffs both of his turtlenecks and picks the one that is the least smelly.
Mm-hmm. No one rocking their prestidigitation?
Zaga's clothes should be pretty fresh because he hasn't been wearing them. He's been wearing stuff.
Yeah,
that
true.
wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
Of the real prestidigitation, everyone and everything.
Yeah. So
As Fabian walks up to the rooms, it smells like.
I would say that they are. I think the way this is planning out, I would almost say that they are waiting patiently downstairs, pristine and clean, like the boy band they are as you arrive, having to haggle your way in again as Von's special friend.
Fabian walks in looking sheepish, but sees them all there like it's the first day of school, and they've all got their
Very
hair
fair.
like perfectly, and is
cleaned.
absolutely delighted.
Oh, the
And then
armor's
How
shining.
Von's hair looking? Is it any darker, or is it?
Von used the color change. He's always jet black. He's looking slick as ever. But it's whether he wants to style it in a particular quiff.
Is
Kind
he got
of-
full
what kind
emo?
of
Or?
emo head I want to go today.
Yeah, leaving a gap for the eyes. So you can always make eye
Go,
contact.
go with the fringe and the spiky top.
Are you saying that you're going to meet them with spiky hair because I will flatten it?
It's an hand and runs it down.
Normal fringe.
That's
it.
Such a stupid game.
Fabian walks up and down the line
Uh-huh.
of where they're standing to inspect them, whilst letting them know that, or asking them to please remember their manners, try not to swear in front of my parents because they don't like it, and going over the rules of the Commonwealth to let Otter and Zaga know that my father is going to get us guest passes, and I'm going to try and find out more about the meeting with the council around our information on the death bloom, but to remember there are rules, and I don't want them to get my father in any trouble, or there will be trouble. I'd also like to take my bow back from Mum.
Yep.
What are you worried about? We'll be great.
That's what I'm worried about, Saga. You and your idea of great and mine are quite different. Should we head off?
After Faywin says this, has she got a bag with her? Do you have your bag with you?
Yeah.
I press a digit in the bag and I was a bit whiffy.
Oh, well, thank you. I should probably have a clear out, but let's go to breakfast. My mother's been up since early, getting everything ready.
Is there a duck?
You'll have to wait and see.
On the way, Otto would like to buy some flowers for Faywin's mum.
Oh, perfect. Nice. Yeah, easy enough to do. Florist open,
Simp.
nice and early. You say simp. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't line them all up, moan about it, and then play the. You can't play both sides of the coin. All right. That's it.
That was out of character.
Oh, sending stones again.
This
Right
is
on.
Hermione. Of course you can.
Disgusting. All right.
Nothing is perfect in her eyes.
I know. But I'm just saying. Disgusting brat.
Wonderful.
Cool. So you make your way to the house.
Me
You-
or Faywin?
well, I can't really decide. The lines.
We've established the blinds are blurred.
Yeah, the
now,
line's
so.
super blurry. I'm having to play your mother and your father right now. It's very confusing for me. All right.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So yeah.
As we approach the door, I gesture to everyone that they should take their shoes off. We're that household.
Yeah, might be. So yeah, as you make your way to the door, you see a very nice, like 3-story townhouse. Full brickwork at the front. Very clean. The streets themselves are very clean. Doesn't like scream of my daddy's a rich boy. Not like detached mansion. So you've been in some nice places, but you can see that the street itself is in a very nice area. It's very clean. As you see people, there's a few people moving around early in the morning here, and the house itself is this 3-story within this like terrace of 3 stories. As you approach,
Sagan nudges Arthur with his elbow and says, "How much do you think one of these houses costs?"
yeah.
I don't know. I whisper back to him like, I think we should find out.
I was going to say, not grand like a manor house, but Otter's a pirate. Von originally lived in the woods and then lived with the druids. Arthur was a wanderer on the road, and Zaga came from an ice island dragger. So actually, for all of you guys, this is a pretty nice house.
As I say, taking this all in, I say to Zaga, "Oh, maybe we could be Faywin's neighbours. I'm sure she'd love that."
For sure. So, Faywin, you open the door, let everybody in, and you make your way up to the first floor where the kitchen is. And as you walk in the room, you guys all can smell that there's definite meats that have been being cooked this morning. You can smell lots of mixes of sweets and coffees and some like frying meats. As you step into the house, it smells very, very good. As you make your way upstairs and kind of just stood quaintly next to each other, you see Faywin's father, Hugh, and Faywin's mother, Hallie. As they are stood, you can see that you get the feeling that she's just put something down on the table as they're both kind of stood next to each other at the back, and in front of you is the table that's been like kind of pulled out and stretched. Fits the room just. You can see that they've extended it to get the right amount of space. Being a household where there was only ever really 4 people here, and recently 2 people, they've clearly made it fit as much as possible to get you all in for breakfast.
Does Zaga see duck on the table?
Roll a luck check. No, Zaga does see duck on the table.
Zaga's
There are
eyes
many-
widen at the sight of duck.
Many
As we walk-
meats.
As we walk in and see this kind of small table arrangement,
Mhm.
Arthur thinks aloud and says, "It's quite small. Is this the second dining room? Maybe. I mean, where do the servants sleep?" Not. It's like a rhetorical question to the end. Not expecting an answer.
Yeah.
I will greet Faywin's parents with May Governor.
May
You
Governor.
see Faywin's dad gives you a little nod, returns the greeting as he steps forward and says, welcome to our home. Faywin's adventuring friends. Please do take a seat and we can get the greetings. Apologies, it's a little tight to get you all in, but I have to say you're looking very awake and raring to go this morning. I'm not usually up and as awake as you are, so thank you for coming. And he kind of walks around and shakes your hands as Fabian Mons kind of stands back and welcomes you all in to get you all sat down.
Zaga wants to try and move as quickly as possible to the seat that's nearest to Duck.
Mm-hmm.
As he goes to shake my hand, as I pull my hand out of my pocket,
Yeah.
My sending stone falls on the floor in front of him. I shake his hand and then I pick it up. I greet him in Elvish, and then I turn to Faerun's mum, and then in Elvish again I hand her the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
In Elvish to say, thank you very much for breakfast, Mrs. Oakshine. I see where Faerun gets her good looks from.
She
and I sort of take a hand and I sort of do the old sort of kiss her on the thing.
Faerun's jaw clenches.
Fabian's mum goes, "Oh, Hugh, we've got a watch here. We've got a little challenger from our friend." And she goes, "They're very lovely flowers. Thank you very much, Odd. I've heard much about you." She goes, and she looks at him and goes, "Oh, my favourite." And takes them away and pops them into a vase straight away, starts to fill up, goes straight into like setting them and making sure that they're ready to be presented. And by the time you guys have sat down and kind of got yourself sat after greetings, she kind of brings back and pops the flowers in a vase on the table, removing whatever she had in there and popping down this vase with the flowers that you've given her there. As you all sit down, and at one end of the table, Hugh sits down and just says, "Well, I thought Fabian has invited you all for breakfast, so you clearly mean a fair amount to our daughter here, and she's been telling us of some of the adventures you've been on, which sound very, very interesting and dangerous to some extent. So I thank you for keeping her safe and letting her spread and sprout her wings on her journeys. Please enjoy our breakfast and let's, I suppose, get to know each other."
Is there a reward for keeping us safe, like bodyguards?
Bodyguards,
Arthur.
not
And I'm hoping I'm sat next to Zaga, and I like give him a little elbow nudge.
Her dad pulls out a gun, shoots you in the face. You're dead.
Zaga's preoccupied with Duck.
Yep.
telepathically to Arta.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice turtleneck, Arta. It'd be a shame if somebody ripped it.
I say aloud, "Oh, it's fine, Faerun. I've got another one. I don't care if you rip it."
So you guys can start tucking it. So there is coffees, fresh juices, different like freshly baked like bready muffins, assortment of meats, duck included. In fact, a lot of the meats are like salted and cured meats. Duck seems very odd in this arrangement. Clearly has been requested to be in there. Different fruits, different salads for you guys to just kind of pick and play. They hand out plates and they have kind of given you carte blanche to fill your plate and eat away, and they just want to kind of get to know who you guys are, ask questions, and you ask questions of them. So I suppose
Zaga ignores everything except the duck.
Mm-hmm. Zaga fills his plate with duck. Unsurprisingly. Anyone else? Anything you want to know? Any bits you want to go through? Any stories you want
I'm
to share?
assuming that everyone's introduced themselves to them.
Yeah, we would have said you've done the basics. I've just introduced who you are, and then they're kind of, you can see that they're like piecing together bits of who you've said and who you've been. Like you've explained to them who they are in stories, and then okay, they're like kind of like joining the dots as you've gone round.
Faces to the names, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I just mentioned Faerun's father, just like, Mr. Oakenshaw, hopefully after breakfast, I might get a chance to speak to you in private about something that I have been told you may have some knowledge about.
Yes, Faerun did say that you were, inquiring about something that we may have in the library. Definitely, I think after breakfast we're on our way over to the Commonwealth. We've, I don't know if Faerun has told you, we've arranged for visitor passes for the day to get you in to see the inside of the Commonwealth, to see the grand libraries, and hopefully they can help in some of your works. We did some work yesterday, which was was good on. I understand some of the things you're looking for. So, but yes, I'll be
Zaga perks
happy
up
to
at
share.
this point. Oh wait, we're gonna get into the Commonwealth? Great! I've been waiting 2 days.
Yes. Will we give you a little a tour of the areas that I'm privy to, and that you would, I suppose, find a little more interesting. A lot of it is just a bit bland, a bit boring. But yes, the library itself is my pride and joy.
Have you seen the Dragonborn around? I really want to talk to them.
Yes, no, I've been working with the Dragonborn. I was explaining to Faywin yesterday. I've been inquiring some information. It was quite a surprise for us to see them in Orhearth. They haven't been and visited for a while, as far as I'm aware. And for myself, I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of dishing out any information to them. But they were, they were particularly interested, and I believe they're hanging around for a little while. I'm not sure how much longer though.
Hopefully, I can see them today.
Well, I mean, hopefully, yes. They've been in discussing. This is, I suppose, their problem. Maybe they underestimated when you don't appear and you have no envoys from Draco for so long. When they do turn up, quite a lot of things to go through. So they've been pounced upon by some of the other council members. But I had a pleasant chat with them, going through and helping source some information that they required.
Good.
Zaga here wants to be the envoy for Draco, don't you, Zaga?
Well, if there's a seat empty, what does it pay?
I mean, I don't think it's a naturally paid position. More of a position of.
Is there a stipend?
There will be for certain things, but I honestly can't say I'm the one. I'm the one to go through with that. But it would be from the leaders of Drac. It would be interesting to have. And I mean no disrespect, but a kobold over a dragonborn. I know you work in together on Draca. I'm not actually 100% sure. I mean, you will have more information on that than I on the hierarchies.
Yeah, maybe. Zach just thinks to himself.
As you bite in, take a bite from the duck. Not that good. Doesn't taste the way you remember it to taste.
How dare you?
You filled your plate with this
fake
duck.
Smile.
Yeah, you bite into it and you're just like, this just.
Like chew it a bit and put on one of those nice smiles. And then Zach realizes what the problem is. It's not running around.
Arta turns to Faywin's dad and says, "Hugh, can I call you Hugh?"
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's my name. Yes.
I've got a real estate question.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure the rest of our wonderful group have got their own little questions. I was wondering, houses in this area. How much do they set you back?
He's not an estate agent, Arta.
How much did you pay for it, Hugh?
These
Arta.
houses have been passed down from
Father,
generations.
you don't need to answer his questions.
Oh, well, I mean, if he's
So
interested,
the neighbours' houses haven't been for sale. At any point
they
recently?
They tend to be passed down via families for a while. I
What
mean,
happens
one
if
may.
the family die?
Well, that would be a rather unfortunate affair, but a lot of it's dealt with within the Commonwealth. The housing, I'm not sure that they are
Okay.
just an interesting question nonetheless.
If say the seat of the dwarves was available and someone was qualified to take that role, as well as the stipend, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. It's a word I've never heard before. I'm not quite sure what it means. Is there lodgings provided, such as a nice large house in this area of town?
I mean, again, I have no idea. I know that those that have seats on the council that are here from far away, they're from their hometowns. They do have accommodation. How that is provided and dealt for, I'm not the one to ask, unfortunately. But I would imagine so. It would make sense.
I'll take that as a yes.
At the mention of dwarves, Saga pipes up again and says, "Mr. Oakshine, you'll be glad to know we've been doing a great job of keeping Faywin away from unsavory characters like dwarves."
I mean,
I even burnt one's beard off.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that dwarf, the individual dwarf himself, must have.
Oh,
done
he had it
something
coming.
to-
Don't worry.
Okay, good. But dwarves themselves are wonderful. I work with many dwarves. We don't have a problem. And it kind of looks towards you, Faywin. It's like we don't have a problem with dwarves.
We don't. No. The dwarf in question was trying to kill us. So
Oh, okay. Well, that makes
a
a lot
burnt
more
beard
sense.
was the least of.
But weren't there reasons why he was trying to kill us? I feel like there must have been.
You probably said something you shouldn't have, Arthur. As I
I
take
get
a bite
on with
of
all
melon.
dwarves. In fact, I have advantage on persuasion checks against dwarves.
What is a
That's
persuasion check?
Zaga,
persuasion check.
Zaga mutters under his breath into call it fucking dwarves.
You see who picks up and looks towards you.
I notice it, do I?
Yeah. As you say it under your breath, he picks up another language has been spoken at the table. Where he doesn't react, but you see as you say it under your breath, he kind of clocks towards you and then clocks away quickly.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Oakshine, what was Faerun like as a child?
Oh.
Any interesting stories you can tell us?
Well, she was
I'll wait to
very
say your breath.
studious. Very studious was our Faerun. Spent a lot of time with me learning at the library. And then her mother kept saying, like, and that's why we wanted her to get out and see the sights a little bit more. We were saddened to hear of poor Meadows passing, but Meadow was a good influence on Faerun to get her out and about and remembering that we aren't all made to stay inside and live inside these cities, are we, Hugh? And he's like, yes, okay. And they go through and share, like, some story, nothing overly embarrassing. They're not in the business of embarrassing their daughter in front of people.
Nice try.
Yeah.
You'll be happy to know that Faerun, as well as being one of the smartest people I know, she's become quite the adventurer herself. And this drawn to this.
Yeah, you can see it. Kind of
Please,
the
both of you.
response from both of them, whilst the same, has different inflections. So the worry in the father's face and the more, not joy, but that you can see that the mother is happy that, or Hallie is happier that Faerun is out exploring. That was the point of it. So you can see, they both, whilst they both say that they're happy to see it, you can see how the two parts of the parents, how they played very different roles.
And Zaga will again pipe up and say, don't worry, we'll keep her away from those dwarves.
Oh, okay. And she's like, oh, do we have, I mean, I know, go back. Problem with dwarfs, Zaga?
No, we don't.
No? Okay.
No.
Do you know if
Some
we
of
wanted
us
to?
don't.
Sometimes, Faerun, it's good to talk about these things open, and the breakfast table is just as good a place as any to talk about prejudices that some people may know. Okay.
He's from Draka. He has a long history of issues with dwarves. It's nothing that we've encountered, apart from obviously the ones that we've mentioned.
Talking about prejudice, Von Van here really hates bugbears.
Wow. It's something a little deeper in
Is
there.
that
Von Van?
an Elba thing, or is that just
No, not
Mr. Gloomy thing?
Like I say, everybody is an individual, and we all have our reasons for liking and disliking things. There is no need to bring an entire species into it because of it, but you're all willing to like and dislike whoever it is, whether it be dwarfs or bugbears. Just interesting to know if there's anything under the surface we need to worry about. You can see that she's kind of like as effectively insight checking each of you on your different prejudices and bits, just to be like, maybe we've got some psychopaths in here, or are we anything?
I agree.
you wanna
I
say?
like everyone, and everyone likes me, and I hold up my drink to cheers, but I don't know if I'm going to get a response.
I'll raise it and cheers.
Yeah.
I will not.
Because it's been, as you, I think Hugh would notice Hallie's far too inquisitive approach on the rest of you, and maybe probing, cutting and cheers and say, well, it's been wonderful having you over for breakfast. Like we say, we will be getting going over to the Commonwealth soon enough to get you in to see the libraries, and hopefully I can help with any of the questions that you have for bits. But it's been a pleasure having you in our home.
I'd love to invite you you guys for a dinner party at my house. once I get it from being elected the spokesperson of the dwarves. So we'll put a rain check on that for now, but
Yes.
do know that you guys aren't going to be invited.
It's very kind, Arthur. Thank you.
One last thing. Hallie, if you don't mind me calling you Hallie. I know Faerun's father works in the library. What is it you do?
I have the most important job of all, looking after everything else. So, I keep myself busy. Chef, I grow quite a bit. I'm keen gardener. Which,
Grow, and I like wink.
Yes, grow. She looks at you, Faerun. Simple.
I'm also looking confused. Like,
Okay.
what?
I'm also looking confused.
Good. She picks up the confusion and just carries on. Earmarked as the... Okay, that guy. Yes, gardener. So grow different fruits and vegetables. A bit of a flower arrangement is one of my other skills. Also help out.
I noticed.
Things. Well, thank you very much, Otto. You are kind. So yes, my job has become a little easier now. Certain people have left and gone onto their adventuring, and so I keep myself busy though.
And hearing that saying that job's easier now, Faerun's left the house, essentially. I kind of look at Faerun. What's the look on her face?
Just like this is the most painful breakfast I've ever sat through. Kind of like slight smiling, but it's absolutely not genuine, and I'm ready to go to the Commonwealth.
Can Zaga pipe up again quickly?
Mm-hmm.
He said, it must have been nice having her back for these last 3 days, though.
It's always good to see our little Faerun back, and then it pipes up like, I've missed her terribly, and I know we must let her go out and spread her wings. But there's always dangers with
Faerun's
that.
got wings.
No, to go and adventure, and then you see
dear.
Hallie just puts her hand on Hugh's arm, just squeezes, like, just leave him be. It's. Please do take... Oh, we cannot possibly eat the rest of this. You and I will turn into quite the pigs if we eat the rest of this. So please do take whatever you need. We know you're busy adventurers for today. I'm sure you can... although you'll be able to get lunch in the Commonwealth. But take whatever we cannot have. I know, Zaga, you enjoy the duck. So please feel free to take the rest of it.
Yes, the duck is very nice.
I
Thank
pick
you
up
very
all the cured. I pick up as many cured meats from the table as I can and stuff them in the pockets of my cloak.
Nice.
I'll grab cured meats. And I'm sure there's a certain little weasel that'll be very happy with all this.
Yeah.
He's just scattering around the table.
At this point, Zaga remembers he bought a gift. He's like, oh, Mr. Oakshine, I almost forgot. As a token of appreciation for getting us into the Commonwealth finally, unlike your daughter yesterday, here's a gift.
Oh, he had over to him and he opens up and he's like, wow, this is...
See, Faerun, you could have had a gift as well, but you didn't. You wanted to be all stubborn.
Wow.
Blank face,
Yeah.
absolute blank face.
He opens up and goes through and he's like, oh, wow, okay, one of Master Callista's. This is... Thank you very much. This will go well. I mean, my old magnifying piece is, could probably do with an upgrade, and this is... quite the model. Thank you very much, Zaga or whoever. It's very kind. No gifts.
It's a group gift.
No gifts are required. Of course, you are. Your gift is keeping our darling safe whilst out in the world. But I appreciate it.
Draconic under his breath, he says, and away from dwarves.
He's like, looks at you again. Something going on with these dwarves. As he stands up and says, right, I packs it up, pops it on his side. He's like, I will take this with us. Now, if you bear with us, I just need to make my morning coffees and we can be on our way. And you can see, again, as he goes into start, you see him just start getting stuff out the cupboards that has been put away and moving as he goes through his OCD process of making coffee in the morning. As Faerun's mother is like, if you would like to grab your one, if you want to wait, we can go up to the roof garden. I can show you some of my some of the plants I've been growing and some of the things that we can manage to grow in what I can do with a small space.
Zaga asks, is Faerun's room still intact from when she was living here?
Oh,
That
I bet she's
won't-
got
we will
pictures
not-
of her growing up.
No, we won't be visiting that room. If anything, we'll be waiting outside.
Oh, I mean, up to you completely. Like I say, we can go up to the roof garden or we can wait outside, your choice.
Have you been growing any herbs, Mother?
I've been growing a wide array of things, Faerun. The garden is vibrant. Well, I mean, is in the summer. Right now, it's seedling, but
Just
it
starting,
will be.
of course.
Yes.
Out of character, wasn't someone a herbalist? Doing herbal stuff.
Yes.
Do you want to ask her any questions? Before I make everybody go outside?
The roof garden sounds lovely.
It doesn't adjust.
Okay, but it will have to be
Rooms on the way.
it will have to be a quick tour, Mother. We really must
It's fine.
get
It's
I
on.
don't
not
know.
a
Your
large
dad looks
garden.
like he's gonna be a while with this coffee making.
He's fully individual being grinding. She's like, it won't take long. Come on. She's like, also, you know your father likes peace and quiet whilst he makes his coffee.
And then I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm trying to get them outside of the house.
Or maybe some want to see my garden?
Does my mother speak
Don't
any
be so
other?
rude, Faerun. We want to see the fruits of
See?
her labour.
They want to see the garden. See, you're going to see the library. Why not see the garden? The nature is just as important as the nurture.
Does my mum speak any other languages apart from Elvish and Common?
Please.
Maybe Dale-Kier?
Who knows?
Elvish and
Underdark,
Common.
Orc.
No. What language do you speak?
Dale-Kier?
No,
I
you speak a
don't.
load of... All the random ones will be with your dad.
She speaks Minotaur.
Yeah, that's what your
Common,
dad said.
Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Minotaur, Orc.
No, she will maybe speak a tiny bit of Dwarvish, but mainly Elvish and Common.
Okay, that's a shame.
I thought being able to cast level 7 telepathy spells, she would have learnt an extra language as part of her class. But
I mean, where did we make this thing up from? Was this Faerun just writing stuff down again?
That's what
You know,
Faerun said
yeah.
out of character.
Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't look at what Faerun writes out of character because I don't even know what that meant. I was like, what? Cool. So she leads you upstairs. So you go up to another floor. You can see there's a floor where there's like the bathroom and a few bedrooms, and then up again. You can see that on this floor, you've got one bedroom, a bathroom in the middle, and then a door that is pulled shut, which you assume is another bedroom. She takes you up to a third floor, which has a doorway out onto the into a garden. The house, the like floor space of the house, whilst it being a townhouse, is still quite big. It's probably not too much smaller than a like standard 3-bed detached in terms of like space that goes up. These are pretty like spacious houses. So the roof itself is probably a decent like 5 by 5 meter. So as you go and step out there, it's not in bloom, but you can see how there is a small pathway around the door, and then you can just see there's like big flower beds that run all the way around the edges. There's some trees that are in there, that are some evergreen ones that have some things on there. You can see where there's some smaller of the vegetables and the edible stuff that are starting to seedling come through, and then you can see along the edges there's some flowers. Some of them that look like a super strange looking variations of flowers that you guys probably would never have seen before, just in terms of like color, of shape, of the way that the stems are growing. Very odd looking flowers indeed. But she's like, so welcome, this is my little rooftop space where I get away from it all and get a little bit of nature in the middle of the city.
I cast prestidigitation to create the smell of the garden in bloom.
She's like, wow, a little trick start. Thank you very much, Otter. But yes, in the summer, it's a much nicer place to come when all the flowers are out. I spend many an hour here whilst everyone's busy scuttling below. But it's my little home away from home, a little bit of peace and quiet.
Has she always grown those type of flowers, the strange ones? Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's
not
like,
something
this
weird.
in the summer. This is like a jungle of purples and yellows and reds and these strange like bloom flower, like all different sorts, and they get like ones that you very rarely would see in florists, if at all. But yeah, that was it. She'll show you gone. So yeah, you can see that some there. You can see where she's growing some like vegetables and some herbs and some bits in here, but a lot of it is this like peaceful space outside with quite high tree coverage. As you look across to like other houses, gardens, a few of them have stuff, but none of them are like this. Is like the crazy palm tree garden that's on a roof that almost like encases yourself in to see through to the other gardens. You can see easier now because there's less in bloom and there's less leaves on the trees. But you could see how in full bloom that this garden itself would almost be from like the three sides that are not the indoors would be blocked off from the rest of the world. So you just have the sky and then this kind of like lush, what would be urban jungle.
Zaga wants to point to some of the weirder plants.
Yep.
And say, hey, where are those from? You don't see any of those on Draka?
I would be surprised if you saw them, Draka. I mean, there are probably some wonderful plants that have grown during and persevered through the ice there. I would love to get some samples from there. But these are take a lot of work, these exotic plants. A lot of them are not from Ashling, from further afield, and I cultivate and do what I can to keep them alive and grow them. And there's wonderful things you can do with cross-pollination of plants, you know, where you mix in two different types of flower to get different types of flowers. Wonderful experiments that can be made with nature that don't require study and just hands-on trial and error. So over the years, and there have been many years of trial and error, I've kind of found my flow with these different types of flowers.
You said not from Ashling?
Some not.
Can
Some.
I take a close look at them?
Mm-hmm.
See if I recognise any of them in any way.
Yeah. Give me a nature check.
Being a real druid and all.
Being a real druid, no, I rolled in that one.
You're a star boy.
Your fake, your lies are coming back to haunt you.
Star boy. You don't recognise any of these from.
Does he recognise them as
forest,
these being flowers with a nut one?
What are these things? Are these small humans? No, they're flowers. Yeah, especially the border forest. The border forest is a forest land, less flowery in bloom. So you probably haven't had a huge amount of exposure to flowers per se. And then also as a druid, it was not your area of expertise at all. You a star boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're, you can see for the ones that are coming through now that they are beautiful in colour and but just like the nature of looking at them, they look strange. Look like parts of plants, but not ones that you've seen before.
Can I do an Arcana check on?
Yeah.
It's going to be a 19 plus.
Nice. 19. I think kind of along the like herbalist.
22.
Oh, nice. Route that you, whilst there's nothing overtly magical about them, a few of these you feel, especially from the ones that she's grown at, like I suppose like the edible ones, the ones that are more for use. There's definitely something that you could see how some of these could be used in magical components. There could be some magical component growing that's in here. Some stuff that could be ground down to use for certain things. Again, your like knowledge of it is so kind of like immature, but you can see how you know that like fire peas can be turned into alchemist fire, and there's different plants and stuff that can be grown that can be used for magical components. So there's definitely an air of like there's something about some of these plants that you feel definitely could be magical component-y.
Not for sale.
No, not what I was going for.
Mm-hmm.
It's more whether they are, well, as I say, not from Great Ainsley, but whether they're from this realm at all.
Right, shall we all go and wait for my father outside? I'm just looking at everyone getting a bit too close to the plant.
As as she does that, and she starts leading us away, I say to her, "So where did the servants stay?"
To Fabian or to
Yeah.
Hallie?
No, it's Fowen.
Okay.
Oh no, so he's crossed the line. So
Oh, there's a whole other chamber in the basement, but we don't talk about that.
you keep servants in the basement, and I thought your parents were nice and respectable.
I just keep
They
walking.
don't have sunlight.
I just keep
Kick me.
grinning.
Kick him harder. Push him downstairs.
Fawen's mum. Fawen just hit me.
No, I didn't see anything. Nice. So you guys, she lets you all. Lets you all. I think she would probably just let you leave, and she'll stay up chill upstairs in the garden. Thanks you all for coming by again. Hope you enjoyed breakfast and lets you go down and leave. By the time you're kind of making your way downstairs, you can see that Hugh is almost ready with his coffee popped into his different thermos and his bag ready. He's packed the magnifying glass into his satchel, and he's like, right, shall we head off for the Commonwealth?
I wanted to have thanked my mum and give her a hug.
Yeah, you could be the last one downstairs, I suppose.
And also just ask my dad who I need to speak to when we get to the Commonwealth, whether he could introduce me for conversation about the council chat about Deathloop.
Yes, so you can head. Yes, you start the walk and you can have these chats as you're walking through. And again, it's not a long walk from parts of Morgana's Throne up to the Commonwealth itself. As you are out, not super early in the morning, but you're talking like 8 o'clock in the morning ish, probably before 9 that you're walking towards the Commonwealth, having these conversations as people start to move about their day. Quite a few people at this time that go in through the Commonwealth in the morning. You can see they get signed off as Hugh goes in. Signs you all in with the front guard as visitors for the day, and you get given.
Does Saga recognise the guard?
No, I don't think you would have paid enough attention of the guard to pick up, because they are all in similar attire, and you've been there three times.
I wanted to rub it in their face, but
Yeah,
fine.
I know
fine.
you did. Which is unfortunate. You don't pay enough attention to people to be able to do that. It's a shame. So yeah, it's just another guard. You could try it and just see if it wasn't. But yeah, he signs you in. You will get given passes for the day. They explain the basics of what the pass grants and how you need to come and be signed out before you leave. And your names are taken, blah, 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 blah. Safety ship. And then he walks you in. In terms of speaking to people, you would have been given the name of certain members anyway, Faywin, when you left. So he can point you on where to find them. And you would have been looking for... who would have you been looking for? Eva. No, we won't give you that one, because that would just lead you up off. I was going to say a dwarf's name, and I thought no. An elven... an elf, a female elf named Elowyn Brightleaf, who is the Minister of Health, would have been one of your contacts. Your other contact would have been Brindus Silvervein, who is the Dwarven Ministry of Trade. Whilst he's a dwarf, he's the Minister of Trade and Commerce for Allhearth. Because, yeah, it's not just elves that have certain positions of power, but they hold some positions of power. So they would have been your two main contacts you had with Mira, and then there would have been a wider council that would have met as well. So he can point you in the direction of their offices whilst you're in for the day. But yeah, you get signed in early in the morning to go into the Commonwealth, and you're walked through into these. Yeah, like I say, this is a grand keep. Castle-esque in size, but when you get inside, you see it's like very tall ceilings, like marble-esque floors. Lots of, for elves though, as we said before, lots of flowers and lots of nature that's around on the inside. That real big cut between it being like a very polished office building, but with like too much plant life thrown in on top. So there's clean floors that run away through, but then there's lots of these intersections between office rooms and spaces where there were just like large trees going up from floor to ceiling, and this 2 or 3, not 3, like 2-story height ceilings. As you walk down the hallways, lots of people that come through and get signed in. There's multiple levels of guard as you pass through the front gate and others, but with your passes, you are waved through. And who leads you through a few corridors out to the grand library that he has.
So, Hugh, where would the Dragonborns be?
Well, that would be difficult for me to know exactly. They would likely be having some meetings with the council today. So I could kind of put you in a general direction of where they could be holding up for the day.
Yeah, I'll have a quick look at the library. You got books and shit, right?
Yeah. Books
Language Saga in Draconic.
Which your father also speaks. And he replies back in Draconic and says, "We have books, yes."
Zaga's eyes widened. He didn't realize that he was being understood when he spoke Draconic.
He's a man of many languages. Nice. So yeah, takes you into the library. As you come into the library, again, big, a little bit more, because of the link with the books and the parchment and the paper. There's a lot more wood in here than the rest of the Commonwealth. Almost like this area has been designed. Like the bookcases are wooden, the flooring is wooden. In the center, there's like a big garden area, and then there's just all the bookcases that run around the outside are just there's just thousands of books and scrolls and different things in here. Again, you get the first sights of these little copper automatons that are moving around. These little like balls with arms and legs that are moving backwards and forwards, shuffling stuff backwards and forwards as he welcomes you in and kind of explains that they're here to help, so don't mind them. Takes you around to his desk where he sets up. His desk is just set out kind of in the middle by a big window. Sets out all his stuff for the day, and it's like, well, welcome to the Commonwealth. I'm set in now. This is our library. This is everything that the elves have collected since Orherf's inception, just after the Fall and Conquest, when Lord Ordain Giraffe decided that there needed to be a coalition, a Commonwealth.
Did you say
created.
Lord Ordained Giraffe?
Giraffe. You not great with names.
It sounded like giraffe.
Giraffe. I mean, he's a man that decided upon himself to single-handedly end the war and bring everybody together. I'm surprised you aren't more aware of his name, but that's fine. And the Commonwealth was created a home for everybody, a seat at the table for all, and we were given the great privilege of trying to keep the knowledge within for the people, to be used by the people where possible, to make sure that nothing terrible happens to this great little country again. So here we have wide array.
We met the wizards at the wizard school. They like books and stuff. Have you had much dealings with them?
We've had some. I mean, we fund the Commonwealth itself funds the Vortalis Arcane Institute to, again, further that knowledge. So we have a fair amount of dealings with the wizards. Yes,
Do they get their books from here?
Different. They will get some books from here. There'll be some study that they come in and do, and we will have some of the Vortalis guys in over a few days. But they are more interested in the study and the furthering, so creating new books, I suppose, on magic and the use of magic.
Have you ever met a wizard by the name of Dark Magic?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, no problem. We met someone a while back who sold us these exquisite magical items, and I produced my wand.
Mm-hmm.
And he told us that if we were in Olherth, he knew of someone called Dark Magic who would be able to perhaps help us acquire other fine items.
Oh, no, I can't say I know of. I mean, if it was a purveyor of magical items, I know some of the blacksmiths are tinkering now with enchantment and imbuing items such as maybe not so much ones. But the wizards themselves would be the best people to speak to, I suppose, on terms of that. I have much wider range of just generalist knowledge, I suppose. More interest myself in language and in the history of how things came together.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Have you ever seen a vampire?
I have not seen a vampire, no. But I have.
Will telepathically say to Zagat, stop mentioning this. This is not for everyone to hear.
He, as you're saying this to you, it comes back to you like, I have not seen a vampire, of course not, but there is. I have a few interesting scrolls that make claim to vampires that have lived not here on Ashling, but elsewhere. Yes, these creatures of the night, very interesting. More a lot of folk stories collected, not a lot of fact.
Wait, you have scrolls about vampires?
Oh yes. Oh well, about stories involving them. Yes, I can go and source them down if you'd like.
Maybe later. I do need to find the dragonborn.
Okay.
With vampires.
Cool. So, you are in a Commonwealth. This is where you can split and do what the hell you want. Who wants to do what? Who wants to do what? So, Hugh has access to the library. I know Fabian's done some checks for stuff. So, if there's certain areas you want to look for, he can find books on bits. There can be some checks that you can do advantage bits with because he can help you find stuff. So, if there's areas of expertise you would like to look into, this man has a wide array of knowledge. But of course, you're in the Commonwealth as well. So, like I say, if you want to go and find other people, talk to other people, this is also a time to do it.
Can I try and find a book on anything to do with the Underdark?
Yes, you can. Yeah. What particularly are you looking for?
Kind of, I guess, like a bit of general information on it, but also if there's anything that kind of details any known paths or anything like that.
Nice. Okay, yep. So he can go and pull some books on Underdark. Give me a history check with advantage. And the DC will be lower because Hugh's putting the books.
History, that's a 19.
19. So he brings out books on the Underdark, definitely, and the prevalence of the Underdark since the Border Forest, the Border Forest's creation. So there is a very... so you got 19?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. The big thing that's stated within there is the movement of one of the clans of the dwarves that, as part of the end of the Fallen Conquest and what was decided between the two kingdoms, went underground. And there is there's like lots of cases of different hearsay and different stories and people that have been to something that's called the City of Blades, which is supposed to be a large underground dwarven city that is within the Underdark. So they know there's roots in and know it's out. Mm-hmm.
Do I know anything about this following my time with the dwarf? Or is it because he's a wanderer? He might not be.
He's a wanderer, and is he from?
I can roll something for it if you
Yeah,
want.
roll. Cannon would maybe have understood. Whether he would have told you about it, though, is another thing.
He probably wouldn't have done.
Oh, actually, no. Roll. Roll a history check.
Just normal straight roll?
Just straight roll.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, nice. What twigs in your mind about that and about this is little bits of information that Callan would have shared about the dwarven history. Like when you asked, rarely as it might have been, but asked about Mahatma Duin and how he was a god of the dwarven wanderers, and the reason that they had a god of dwarven wanderers. Dwarves are not supposed to wander, so it's kind of frowned upon. So ordinarily they'd have their gods of smithing and everything else, and how they were proud smithing races. And there was bits in there that he said about this you kind of like City of Blades is a thing that twigs in you, and then another thing that kind of melds in your mind is the dwarves that you faced very early on in Redvant, the purple-skinned dwarfs, how they were dwarfs of the night, dwarfs, and there's a bit in there that's like, like that clicks, that the Dwaegars, that makes sense. That's where they're that's supposed to be where they're from. Like these dwarfs that live and work underground so much that they essentially have become sensitive to sunlight and have lost this coloration. They've become purple in coloration of their skin. So that you've not been or heard, but the mix of the little bits that Callan says and your experience with the Dwaegars kind of clicks in your head.
Okay, perfect.
You don't know where it is. All you know is that
it
was part of the
I know it
exploration of the
exists,
dwarves.
or at least I know of it.
Yep.
By association.
Yeah. So there's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I say when we fought the Dwarves anyway, we when we spoke to Vex, he mentioned them being from underground anyway, didn't she?
Yeah. But yeah, there's a huge and there's a bit with the City Blade like strange. Like it obviously is not necessarily just kept secret, but it's not a place that necessarily people would just go to. But yeah, there is the history of the dwarves is that after the war the three clans moved. One clan went south and operated in the Gilded Hills and specialised in gilding, so in gold and silver. One, obviously the naughty ones that went and took the Dragon Hills once the dragons departed or forced them out. And then there's a third clan that was neither here nor there, that are somewhere in the Underdark that supposedly set up this City of Blades. Another big smithing city. So there's that on the Underdark. There's not a huge amount of detail about where it is, other than they know that they believe the Underdark is largest and most prevalent below the Border Forest. So there's that bit. Was there anything else on the Underdark you were looking for?
Was there any kind of details of other beings other than the dwarves down there, maybe?
You would know that definitely the elves of because where you're from in the Border Forest is like you're kind of more central. You know from Redhead, which is like the opposite city to Eden on the west coast, that their settlement and a lot of the kind of borderland forest settlements to the west kind of bordered on being underground in some areas. So that is a big city that can't go up because it doesn't want to go above the tree line, so it goes down. So even with some of with some of the more localized villages around the points within the wood elves, that you tend to go down rather than go up. So you go into the roots of the trees and around the roots of the trees. So there, that Redhead would have some link potentially to the Underdark. It'd probably be the closest place that has a direct link down to the Underdark from a city. But there could be other ways in. There's probably other ways in. If there's a city under there, there's probably multiple ways into the Underdark. It's just who knows about them.
Okay.
But yeah, essentially drow elves.
Yeah.
Similar sort of thing. Elves and that's why I suppose your complexion is lighter. I don't think you've really met any others, but the more west the wood elves get, the lighter skin they get, the more likely they have the sunlight sensitivity.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
And you met Vex and
Vex was drow, and so was the other guy that we killed from that.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Vex.
So that all kind of pins together as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any more for any more?
I mean, I obviously want to do my bit, but I'm waiting for... I'll allow everybody else to do what they want to do, so I can sort of get him on his own for a bit of time.
Yeah.
He's also going to look for books on property investment.
No. Art is going to look for... What does Art want right now?
To get his suit?
No, that's on the list. That's later on. Art is going to look at books on... Yeah, you know what he's going to do? He's going to look at books on gardening.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to prepare himself for when he buys a house and grows his own organic veg.
Nice. You get you a nice wide range of books, from like simple vegetable growth to some stuff that's a little bit more detailed, but a good like how to step-by-step guides. Sets you up on a little table to go looking around for stuff, and you can see that he sets off these automatons on certain tasks like that one. It definitely that he kind of sets the automaton away to do it, gives it verbal commands, just says like, okay, we're looking for the how-to section or farming, blah, 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 and then you get this automaton that kind of waits with you and works, hands over some books to you. When you're done with ones, we'll take them away and go and refile them. And these, you can see these robots just kind of move backwards and forwards to help. Hugh himself likes to do a lot of the finding himself. So there'll be certain questions you'll ask, like the Underdark. He'll kind of take you with you. He's like flying up ladders and flying down. And for an older guy, like fairly sprightly around these around the library. Doesn't like to use the automatons. He likes to go and pull and find himself. But they are there for some of the simpler tasks. You can see how some of the other people that are in there moving around that are sat at like study desks use the automatons to go and grab books for them. Nice. So yeah, we can do this one. We can do all the library stuff, I suppose, before we go looking for Dragon Ball. In case more of you want to go looking for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, do what's his thing first.
I was going to quickly say, along the lines of the gardening thing, can I see if there's any sort of herbal books as well?
Yeah.
I can kind of do a bit of research on.
Yeah.
And I know I can't just sit down and do some research on that. Let everyone else carry on with whatever they're doing.
Yeah, you can definitely go through and where's that? All the shit on it. But yeah, you can get a load of is yours herbalist or alchemist? Herbalist. Yes, you can go through and get some books and essentially go through encyclopedias of just like what different plants do, where they grow, what different ones, and you can probably note down a few recipes for stuff in there if you want. So I can pull out a load of recipes for stuff and be like, if you want to pick certain potions, if you're looking for certain types of potions, we can pick that up after to go through. And just be like, you can just straight up learn recipes from these. Like they have huge amounts of books. Like those sort of things, alchemy, herbalism, things that are encyclopedia-esque, like how to do things. They have got all of the books on those.
Fantastic.
So
I'll
you
do
can sit
that
down and just
then.
crack through. Yeah, do a couple of hours there. Nice. So yeah, Arthur's down there. It's like us milling around, looking at stuff, waiting to try and find out where to go for the Dragonborn. Fail.
Is there a quiet corner
Of
somewhere?
course, it's a library.
So I'm gonna go into a quiet corner and take a seat down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell Jeff that we're in Allhearth.
Yep. Jeffrey.
I'm going to whisper.
Yeah.
Hey Jeff, guess what?
What? Why are you whispering?
Because we're in a library, Jeff, and guess where that library is?
If this is some horrible trick and we are not in a city, I'm not going to be happy, you know. You've left me on my own for far too long now.
You have no sense of time. You're a soul in a ring. We're in the Commonwealth of Allhearth, Jeff. Can you feel it?
But I wish I could, but no. But it's good. It's good to be home, back to civilization. Oh, just nice food, delicious wine. Oh my, oh my. What are you doing? What, are you back? Are you back for good? Are we staying here now? Are we going to find some things?
We'll be staying for a while, for sure. Is there any way you'd like me to take you in Allhearth for nostalgic reasons?
But I mean, I can't see anything in Allhearth, can I? I mean, you could go around. You could go to my house. You could go to my work. But what would you? I can't see. You need to find a way of getting me out, and I can experience all of Allhearth, I suppose. But you being there is, if anything, this is coming off across like you're showing off a little bit, Faywing.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
I'm not
you've
showing off.
you've
wanted to come to Allhearth, Jeff, and I've brought you to Allhearth.
Well, I'm glad we're in Allhearth, yes. But now we're here, obviously I've had to realise that I can't see or feel exactly what's going on. So, well done. We're back in civilization. Don't leave.
I thought he'd be more grateful.
So he's a soul in a ring.
I know, but I still thought I might, be praised more, I suppose. When I came in with my dad yesterday, we looked at necromancy books. Can I go through them a bit, see if I can find anything else about Jeff? Yeah. I was going to try and learn a new language, but I think that's a bit cheeky.
Yeah, you can try and do some stuff. I suppose in collaboration with Jeff. So yeah, give me a history check or like a knowledge check, history check with advantage.
Thank God for that. 21.
21, nice. So you go through some bits on, and the books you're pulling through, I think, as he's trying to like lead you through, he's like, none of this has got anything in what you need. You need to go to the people that would know how to get me out of the people that put me in here. No. And by saying no, I mean yes, of course. That was a rhetorical question. I am, of course, correct. Why don't we might need to get out into the city. How do you feel about going on a little adventure?
I'm busy right now, Jeff.
Well, do you want to help me or not?
Of course, but just not right now.
Well, all I'm saying is we might find more information if we went to the source of my problem. When you have time, just let me know and I'll give you some direction.
Well, what's the source of your problem? So that I can make sure that I'm well equipped to be able to deal with such a problem.
Just so you're aware, I have no way of showing you other than being quiet, but I'm ignoring you.
Oh! Okay, so if you're ignoring me, I can't take you to the source of the problem. So I can't help fix it.
The source of the problem is the person that killed me and put me in this ring in the first place.
Which is, or who is?
Was one of those circle of spiders they call themselves. They're assassins or whatever they are.
Circle of spider assassins? Who on earth is that?
Oh, dear. Well, maybe if you listen to my direction, we could go on a little adventure and find out some information, maybe.
Maybe you could just tell me, Jeff, and then I would know.
But I can't see the information. If I knew how to get myself out of the ring, Faerun, do you not think I would have done so?
No, but you know who killed you.
I do know who killed me. A
So who is it,
backstabbing
Jeff?
little member of the Circle of Spiders. I don't know. They all have code names. They don't use their real names, do they?
And do you remember the code name of the one that took the killing blow?
I don't know. His name was, I don't know, Striker or Stalker or something weird. I don't pay attention to them. They were just acquaintances to pass information on. You know, I had to give information to certain people, and they went through certain couriers, apparently assassins as they were, and one of these Circle of Spiders clearly took it upon themselves to wipe me out for some reason, and here I am inside this ring. So, yes, all I know is if they did that, then maybe they have some more information about how they got me here and what they were doing, and that might take us on a nice little journey.
What information were you giving out that would make them want to kill you?
How about we play a little game, which is you follow some direction and I give you more information.
How about we play a little game where I stop speaking to you, Jeff?
Well, if you stop speaking to me, then please pass me on to somebody who can help me, who is interested in finding out a little bit of dirt on what's going on here.
I shan't. And at that point, I don't let communication from Jeff. I'm ignoring him.
Poor Jeffrey.
Poor Jeffrey. Is a snake?
Takes one to know one. Nice. So, yeah, the book, essentially, all you've gone through the necromancy stuff. There's nothing in here that details this sort of thing. But
Cool.
that from his dealings and what he's been up to in the past, there may be stuff that can be found out. Nice. So you done that? You done that? Turn it up. Wait for dragons. Otter. You can see Hugh's kind of set people off and got them working with bits and checked on everyone. And you kind of, as you're like lurking around, you spot he's kind of free and on his own.
Mr. Oakshine, if we may.
Yes.
Is there somewhere a bit more quiet and private we may talk?
I mean, we can, and he kind of like ushers you over to a similar kind of cubby area. It's not fully private. This is a big library, but there's some smaller, like boxed off areas where him and yourself can be like just the two of you in there with at least 2 bookcases, so your voices won't rebound too far.
If I may, what languages do you speak?
Oh, I speak.
Okay,
Two
let me
minutes.
put this way, it might be easier.
Yes.
What's the most uncommon language that you speak?
I mean, likely Minotaur. I speak it fairly well. Favorite and I have been learning for a bit. But yeah, I would say probably Minotaur is the one that is highest on the list of strange.
Something that's not Minotaur, something that's, not likely to be overheard.
It might be easier if you tell me what languages you speak.
I mean, I have the ability to speak any language I hear, so...
That might not work. So you're going to cast tongues?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, why gotta be like that? Why you make it difficult? I'll go find fucking languages.
I mean, tongues does say that a language I speak somebody can understand. Is that right? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, but
I
it has
speak
to be a
language.
language you speak.
Yeah. So if I was to cast tongues and speak in Abyssal, he would understand.
No.
No, there's no way about that.
No. You can cast it on someone to understand what you're saying, but it has to be a language that you know. You can't cast it on yourself to learn a language and then cast it on them to understand language. Yeah. But yes, you could.
This says, moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language, that's what it said, one language, can hear the target and understand what it says.
Okay. So, yeah. Either way, you can pick a language and go for it. I can't be asked to go through the list of languages. He knows a fuck ton of languages.
Let's go for Mantis.
Okay.
Let's go. Because Fabian's done the other.
Yeah, Fabian's on the other side. You are
I'm not
within
I'm
every.
having an argument with Jeff.
Yeah. Fabian's just.
I cast tongues on myself, speaking Minotaur. I wasn't born with magic. It's not divine magic. I've not learned magic. I have been granted magic. And I was told you might know about the being that has granted me this power.
Interesting. I mean, potentially there are countless stories, many of them folk tales of people that have been imbued with powers in many different ways from many different sources. You haven't it kind of looks like left and right. You haven't made a pact with a devil or a being of celestial. Do you know? He also doesn't realise that even if you're speaking Minotaur, he's still super whispering.
I was, as I'm sure Famous told you, I was once a pirate.
Yes.
Needless to say, I was overboard. I was drowning, and I heard this voice in my head telling me if I was granted the ability to survive, to live, I would be given powers. But I was to do this. I was to do bidding for this mysterious place. And wanting to live, I agreed. So yes, I guess you could say I had just some sort of pact.
A creature.
But I know not with what.
He's like this. I mean, I have knowledge on many of beings and beasts, pacts and grantings of magic. We have less information on, but a water, a sea-based powerful creature is. It's like hold on, and he goes away and comes back, and he's like this. He like pulls up will be like a small note that you've ripped from a pad that he's just like pulled off a spike on his desk, and he's like, this is incredibly similar to the information that the Dragonborn were asking about. They were asking about they had many names that they were searching for. They were like, he's like, there's a folk tale of a Kiren Croin, which is a sea beast that aided ships and was like a merchant's friend, and was as long as you treated the beast with reverence, that you would pass the seas, and sailors would kind of pronounce this. And this was around the local area that this term was kind of pulled out. So he said we had some lore stories that we took from them. Also, there was then fuck you, man! I can't find my damn piece of paper. There it is. Also,
excuse me.
there was. Sorry, I get very angry when I can't find my information. So I pulled out the folk stories we had on that, but then we were looking at just around this idea of titans, of these like planar beasts, these almost demigod-like creatures that are a blend of very close to being elementals or not, and kind of correlating between. There was 4 or 5 books that the Dragonborn wanted to go through that I gave them to go through and study. They didn't seem as if they got what they wanted from them, but I'm more than happy to bring the books see if they help you.
Yes, I mean, like I say, I don't know where this voice came from, but I have seen images in my head, whether they are real or not, of a kraken, a giant kraken.
Mm-hmm.
And there's oftentimes when I have been asleep and had these very lucid dreams, and I wake up and I just cough up water.
Oh, this.
And I also show him the marking on my hand.
Mm-hmm. He's like, this is. Fortunately, my knowledge is more on just around. I hope I can give you some knowledge on, or find something that can help and make you understand what the what sits behind your magical power is unfortunately well outside my remit. But let me. You say Kraken. Let me find, and he goes away and pulls a few of the books out that he had and said, we can work our way through these if you'd like, to see if there's anything in there that at least helps you understand what's going on.
Yes, any help would be very much appreciated.
Cool. So yeah, he like scurries off, and he's got the note. He's got the notes on there as well, and you can see as he walks you through that the Dragonborn came in. They were asking about this Killian Croin, which is this folk tale about this large kraken-like seawater beast, and they were just asking for everything that he had on it. And you can see the books he brings out. A lot of them around this idea. Some of them are like a little bit more towards gods and elementals and like these big planar worldly beasts, and then some of the other ones are more around folk tales and laws. That's where they find the one about Killian Croin, which is this big kraken-like octopus thing that looks after ships, that sails with them and makes sure that sailors get around safe, and all the sailors and merchants pray to Killian Croin, and that gets them through safe. And then there is there's one book that you're more drawn towards as you're kind of going through this with you here, and he says, they had particularly interest in this one but didn't seem to find anything from it, and it's a not a lot, it's like much smaller, looks incredibly old, and it just on the front of it has a symbol which has a kind of like a tentacle vibe to it, but looks to be more what's the word I'm looking for? More like, not royal's the wrong word. It's not like just a drawing of a thing. It's more like a crest that's on the front of this thing that has a bit in there, and it's much smaller. Looks a lot different. Doesn't look like a book that fits within like a library as you see it there. It just, there's something about it that you were kind of drawn towards.
This is interesting book.
Yeah, he says yes. The colleagues from Draka, they use this book as well, and I'm interested. The book itself is quite beautiful in terms of its layout and the detail inside, but it seems to be more of a story or a recounting of lore than anything else. They didn't seem to get much interest from it. As you pick up.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, you've got in front of you this small book. It has got like the front. It probably overall is probably in about 20 or 30 pages. What's the size down from A4 size? And
A5.
A5 size ish. So very small compared to the rest of these like large, thick encyclopedia books about titans and gods. This one is very odd. You can see that it had a clasp on it, like a locking clasp on it, and you can see around the outside that there's some gilding as well as this crest. So it's like a leather, a fabric bound book, but with this metal gilding that runs around the outside, this crest kind of in the middle, and what would have been a latch or something to hold on there before. This small, almost looks like a diary type size of book.
Interesting.
Do you open it?
I do.
Reading. Cool. So it starts up, and you see in there, it just the first page on here just says the Codex of Abyssal Chains. Can you roll me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Be a 12.
12, nice. You, as you open this and see the Codex of Abyssal Chains, you feel your hands with the 12 are glued. This book is small, but as it opens in your palms, you feel like it's stuck. The page itself turns over as you feel that you cannot move. Your face cannot move. You lose, for yourself, your spatial sound. Everything around you dims right down. You might as well be surrounded. You might as well. Oh shit! You might as well be in a bubble of dark for your purposes whatsoever. You hear. You start to lose the kind of hearing from Hugh talking to you as he's like, "Otter, are you okay?" Who would have been close by? I think for this, no one else would necessarily pick up, but you are just stood there, hands on this book, open. This is where I need to hope that this works. How do I check this is going to play? As you hear in your head. Oh, that's not loud enough. Let me check. Can you hear this?
The Abyssal Sovereign.
Yeah.
Zephyrax, the Abyssal Sovereign, a colossal and ancient titan, once roamed the depths of the ocean with unchecked dominion. Its tentacles could stretch for miles, and its presence alone inspired terror among sailors and coastal inhabitants. Legend spoke of its intelligence and malevolence, as it wielded powers that could command the very seas themselves.
Oh, that's good. As this ringing around for you, the sound of the voice that you've been hearing, but in many more words, and I can send you what he says after. In many more words than you've heard before, this deep voice that is just all encompassing in your brain. Those that are in the close enough and would maybe be paying attention, can you give? So I suppose Faywin, Von Art, all four of you. Can you give me perception checks, please? Just standard roll ones. As Hugh kind of comes towards you, kind of taps you, and he's like, Otter, are you? And you start to hear a bit of a kerfuffle, a bit of commotion in the library.
18.
You would pick up straight away.
25.
Oh shit! Yep, so would you.
Not
Okay.
one for Zaga.
That is a 9 for Arthur.
Okay. Makes sense. So you two are engrossed in what's going on. Von and Faywin, definitely Faywin, you'd hear your dad just saying, kind of, you hear the panic in his voice, and Von, this is a sense that clicks in you that something is going on. Hearing Hugh just being like, Otter, are you okay? Okay, as you guys kind of peel around and see, and you just see Otter stood, planted still, like body incredibly tense, not moving, with this small book in his hands. As you get kind of up close to him, you can see his eyes are just jet black. His irises, the pupils gone, just jet black as he's staring down towards his book. Can you give me another wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh dear. 7.
7. You take 5 points of psychic damage as you see Otter like tense. His body, whilst his body doesn't move, those of you that are close to him see him tense as like you see like a small bit of blood start to dribble from his nose.
We say Zaga's chasing one of the automatons.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ya. Cool. Do you carry on reading, try and pull yourself away, or do you want to stick to and carry on? So there's obviously levels that will go in. You feel that you've taken some pain here, but you also feel there's a connection. You feel there's a longing. There's more information to be gained from this book, but obviously there's a risk that the further you push, the more.
Just too entranced on keeping on.
Nice. So yeah, you take the damage as then you hear.
During the Fallen Conquest, a coalition of powerful and divine beings banded together to halt Severax's rampage. They unleashed a torrent of magical energies, binding the Kraken within a prison of enchanted chains and seals. As the battle raged on the surface, brave heroes descended into the depths to confront the Abyssal Sovereign directly. With great sacrifice and cunning, they managed to weaken Zephyrex and imprison it beneath the waves, where it remained trapped for centuries.
Nice. Again, you start to get visions now coming into your mind as this all-encompassing voice is just ringing around of a war happening, of the sea, of things rolling, of a thunderstorm coming down, and these ships sailing across this coastline. Can you run off a wisdom saving throw, please?
That's a 13.
13. You take 10 points of psychic damage. As those of you that are watching, and I suppose Arta and Zaga now, you would see, even if you're moving around, that Faywin and Von are around, and there's a bit of commotion as like people are kind of moving back. Hugh, you can see, he's very worried now as he's looking to you, Faywin and Von, to be like, I don't know, this didn't happen when the Dragonborn were looking at the book. I don't know what's happened, and you can see he's starting to panic a little bit about what's going on as you two are there, as you see and hear the tents in Otto as he's still standing there, as more blood starts to just run into his beard now. Like there's a constant stream of blood just coming out, maybe like the odd bit just in his ear as he is just. Pupils gone, hands stuck to this book. Is there anything anybody would like to do?
Scream.
Can I try and close the book?
Mm-hmm. So you go put your hands on the book. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
So 19.
19. Nice. So you grab the book. You will take 5 points of psychic damage as you pry the book away and close it shut. You take the damage and the book.
Can I fight against Von taking the book?
If you would like, yeah. You can sense that he is reaching out to take the book.
What do you want me to roll?
Roll a. I suppose you'd be rolling contested strength for you to hold, like as he goes to take it, for you to grab it back.
Oh, that's a 5.
Oh.
That's an 18.
18, nice. So yeah, you take the damage, you feel it, and you manage to shut it. As he finishes, you feel Otter like lean forward as he goes to grab, and you, whatever, I suppose, for you two to roleplay out, as you are, your eyes come back in, as there's blood pouring everywhere, as you are face to face with Von, as he's got this book in your hand, this book that you desperately want to get hold of.
Can I put my hand on Otter's shoulder and cure a wound?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's over to you two. I mean, you've just snapped out of this. So, Otter, you've been in this, you've been having these things, and then you almost like the vision changes as you feel the book being sucked from your grasp, as you're like face to face with Von. Von's grabbed this book in front of you, and you're stood across from him as your face is bloody. Faelin's hand on the shoulder, cure wounds, and Hugh's just stood behind like, what's going on?
Zag is chasing an automaton still.
Jack is still chasing an automaton. So, yes.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Thaumaturgy allows me to close a door, instantly cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or slam shut. Some would say that a book is a door to knowledge.
The book's already shut. The book's already shut. So Von has the book. So as we stand, Von has grabbed the book. It's only a small book. He managed to get the book away and close it, taking the damage. Yeah, I know. Taking the damage as he's been hit, and then Otto, you've kind of come out as you've gone to reach for the book, and you two are stood face to face with each other. I'm kind of throwing it to you, to however you want to play this one out.
I'll sort of come to out of the trance, kind of back of my hand, I just wipe across my face, and I look, see the blood. I see the book in Von's hands, but I know it's Von, so I'm not gonna be too aggressive. I just hold my hand out for the book.
Otter, I don't think that's a good idea. You quite clearly are being hurt.
I don't know exactly what was going on. I just hear the voice I've heard from whatever it is that gave me this power. I'm not going to open the book again now, but I need that book.
Well, maybe if it's so dangerous, a little kobold friend could, set it on fire.
No.
Not inside the library.
I shoot Arthur a look.
I mean, surely you're not going to take it from the library either, because that would be stealing. Unless you've got your library card with you.
Otter.
Otter.
He has got a library card? Are you using Faywin's library card? Right, I'll stop.
The book.
You've got to promise to not.
Okay.
If you are opening this again, do not open it away from us.
I can promise you that, yes. But I need that book. I will only open it in a safer area.
I reluctantly hand the book back to Otter. I
Do
trust
feel
you.
anything as you hand the book over?
As you hand the book over, you feel this almost this wave of peace, wave of relief that just hits you as you've got the book in your hands now. I would say that would be the initial thing of holding it here. Is you just feel like yes, you need to have it, and you've got it. This is important that you have this. I think roll a Arcana, maybe. I want a. What skills would it be? I want not a common sense. I want a gut feel. Maybe this isn't that. Maybe this is. I don't want it just to be a random one.
Insight.
Insight is probably good. That's what we're looking for. Roll insight check. Otter.
18.
18. Good. You know that you've seen two passages of this book. As you're holding it now, you can feel that there is a connection. There is definitely a connection between this book and the source of your power. You know that the surrounding was very similar to your dreams you've had before. The voice was the voice that you've heard before, but you've heard single words from this being before, and now you're getting full passages about what is happening. But you feel like that you've only scratched the surface of what could be in here, but also as you reach and see that you've been cured and you're bleeding profusely from your nose and your ears, that not being prepared for the knowledge could have dire consequences as well. There's a great risk reward in this as you're looking down at it. I was like, there's information here, but how much do I push myself for this information?
As I take the book and the wave of peace comes over me, I sort of look at Von, not in the kind of stern way I was looking before. I just say, thank you. And again, I turn and I put my hand on Faywin's shoulders, she has on mine, and say thank you for healing me. What did I get healed, by the way?
4.
Thank you. And then I turn to Hugh and say, I need this book.
As you can see the shocked look on his face as you Zaka, what are you still chasing around automatons?
Unless there's something I need to be doing.
Okay, so as Zaga's checking around automatons, you hear as you kind of in this moment where you're looking at, he's looking at you like, what the like essentially the shock of this book has been handed out. What the hell is going on? You saying, I need this book, and him trying to process what's going on there. The door's open. As you can see, a lot of people have moved around. A lot of people have been moving around with Hugh moving, and they're not like a state of panic because you weren't in there for that long, but you could definitely see that other people that were in the library have maybe left or gone away as the door swings open as two fully armoured white and silver dragonborn come stomping in and look towards you as a group. As like it was in the corner chasing one thing.
As the doors swing open before they sort of march in, I quickly cast prestidigitation on myself to sort of clean up the blood money.
They clock straight away. The commotion of what's going on the thing is in there as they walk in. And I think we can stop at that point. The Dragonborns have entered the arena.
Imagining like them entering and there like being fireworks going off and stuff.
No, it's more just like, hey,
Got their own like theme songs there in the room.
give me that fucking book.
The
The Scottish Dragonborn. Unfortunately, because the dragons, they were supposed to be more lizardy, and then one of the guys who is a Dragonborn in the other game was like, can't really do that, I'm just going to do like a weird Scottish accent. I was like, dwarves and dragons have the same accent, it's cool.
Kobolds are lizardy, the
Yeah.
Dragonborn.
Dragonborns are more Scottish. So yeah, but yeah, you as like they essentially like stomping. People have been moving around. You would have less noticed it, but yeah, as you stood there and you've asked this question, the Dragonborn come through and are looking directly through to where you are, and you can see they're white. They almost glisten the same way that Zaga has like the blue and bronze coloration. They have white and silver coloration of their scales, and then their armor is in there, and they are fully geared up to the nines.
Zaga will notice the
You will,
Dragonborn
yeah.
come in, and he will cry out, "Finally! I've been trying to speak to you guys for days."
And we can pick up what they want, who they are next time. Cool. That's nice. So we're not here next week. We're doing a one-shot. It's a great one-shot about a certain Kraken-esque beast and a book. So that was lucky. You got there just in fucking time. So yeah. Jesus.
It was always the plan to end on
Yeah,
this.
no, it was good. So yes, so yeah, you have this book now, you have this thing, but there's a lot more to learn about it, and obviously there's risk and reward in there. But we will find out more out of your characters with a whole bunch of other characters set right before the Fallen Conquest next Friday, and then we'll be back the week after to pick up the Dragonborn entering the arena with somebody who has a book and access some information that they are quite keen on potentially understanding. Whew. GG's. So yeah, next Friday and then a week after. I'm gonna have a drink now. Ta-ta, farewell.
Nipples.
Nibbles.